girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.
From a driver's point of view, to get ahead, you need to understand the data. I have over 20 buttons on my steering wheel that have a direct link to how the car behaves. So I'm studying that in the background on computers all the time. I'm super grateful that we have AMD with us. It's a huge asset for us. When we come back into the garage, the car downloads and the data pops up on my screen. The faster we can get that, the faster I can analyze it and the faster I can get back out there.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Dr. Dang. Along with me is going to be Edge as I welcome you all to AMD Ryzen presents Skyesports Championship 3.0. Chroma as our gaming retail partner, Logitech as our gaming partner, and WD Black as our gaming storage partner. We also have Facebook Gaming for our stream. So we have all our sponsors, we have our title sponsor, and it is time that we take a look at the playoff finals that we have for the Pakistan and Afghanistan region today.
Yep, I mean, it's going to be another one hell of a day, for all the matches, for all the viewers as well. I mean, yesterday we did see the Sri Lankan, Nepal, and Bhutan finals, right? It was absolutely incredible, dominant in a way, yes. But today we have the Pakistan and Afghanistan regional finals once again. It's going to be Team Exploit facing off against Salt Esports. Keep in mind, they already faced off against each other in the upper bracket finals, and it did not go in the favor of Salt Esports. They were pushed down to the lower brackets, and then they had to make their way back to the grand finals right here. So they're looking for redemption, but at the same time, Team Exploit, they did not drop a map yet. We did see that yesterday in the Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan region. A new order, if I'm not wrong, they did not drop a map. So, Dang, do you think that Team Exploit today might, carry on the same momentum that they had throughout the tournament? Or do you think Salt Esports are gonna be is gonna be the first team to make Team Exploit, actually exploit Team Exploit, to be honest?
Well, that is going to be something that we will have to wait and watch. But one thing's for sure, if you haven't dropped a single map in this competition, well, you want to make sure that you do not drop a single map going forward in the competition either. So as far as Exploit goes, I think that they will be looking for that flawless win. It's going to be a BO5, so it's not going to be an easy one, because again, you only get one map to ban and the rest of the remaining maps need to be played. So yesterday Breeze was banned, so I guess we will be seeing a new map take Breeze's position, and maybe we see Breeze come into the play, just yet. So again, it's a very good map. It's a map that we have been waiting for a long time to see for one of these teams to play on. So let's just hope that we get to see exactly what these teams have to offer on the map of Breeze.
True that. I mean, yeah, if I'm not wrong, if my stats are not wrong, I mean, yeah, according to stats at least, I don't think Breeze is going to be the one that's going to get banned. But at the same time, I would like to see Breeze as a deciding map if it goes that far, The fifth map would be Breeze, and then that would be incredible because that's a huge map and new map relatively. So maybe both these teams go 2-2, and then the deciding map can be Breeze. That's going to be really interesting, but I doubt it. But at the same time, the other maps, and both these teams are really good at all the maps, to be honest. But Team Exploit sometimes tend to ban Haven. They have banned Haven most of the times in this tournament. And at the same time, Salt Esports, they do not want to play Breeze, to be honest. So that is something to keep in mind. Maybe Breeze can be banned, but I prefer it does not. But at the same time, if it goes into the hands of Team Exploit, I'm pretty sure Haven is going to be the one that's going to get banned. But either way, it's going to be one hell of a day for us, Dang.
Well, I completely agree. I think that even banning Haven or banning Bind or Breeze or any one of these maps is at the end of the day going to come down to the fact that who was the stronger team on that map. For example, if Exploit is going to be the stronger team on Breeze and Salt doesn't ban them, well, that's their disadvantage, and they need to make sure that they come out with a strategy to figure out how they want to take the remaining maps, because, well, they have just lost a strong map for themselves. The same thing goes for Exploit. If they get, say, Bind gets banned, and they are going to be a team that loves to play Bind, well, they just have to deal with it, and they will have to figure out a way to attack and defend on a different map other than Bind.
Yep, true that, and yeah, Bind as well. My personal favorite, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to see some interesting agent picks here. I really want to see KO coming into play, maybe a Sky as well. We were talking about KO yesterday, but we didn't get to see KO yesterday, right? So maybe KO, maybe, I mean, obviously Jet, there's a lot of Jet players in this team, in this both these rosters. They have incredible Jet players, and we did see an incredible race yesterday. So do you think we're going to see another flights here, Dang?
Well, if we are going to be seeing another flights, I'm pretty sure that it is going to be a lot of fun, because yes, hopping with the Jet is cool. We see a lot of Phoenix plays, we've seen a lot of Rena plays, but something that really just gets you going is always those race satchels. And at the end of the day, it's either a judge in the face of the opponent, or it's a showstopper. Either ways, Raze is one of those agents that you would love to. I'd say that considering her utility is really expensive, she's just going to be an agent that I love to watch and maybe not play, but still, it's a lot of skill that is needed for those players to make those satchels, and not just skill, you need to put in those hours in the custom games to really figure out how far can you go with those satchels, what can you do with your direction of flight. So let's see whether these teams have something planned for us, or are we going to just have our regular duelist plays come out.
Well, there are going to be some regular players, but I'm pretty sure and incredible players are on the cards as well, because both these teams, they're incredibly talented, right? They've been on top of their region for a really long time now. Both these teams are very well known as well in the community, and the way that these teams play is both passive aggressive gameplays from both the teams. They understand each other very well, because I'm not, if I'm not wrong, they have played against each other multiple times in recent times already, right? So Team Exploit, they know exactly how to put salt to the wound for the players of Salt Esports. At the same time, Salt Esports, they know how to exploit Team Exploit, right? But it all depends on how they come up, how they play, and how they execute their plan of action today, and who is going to be the better team. Because right now, Team Exploit, they look really strong. Because 2-0 all the way, is it going to be another 3-0? Now that's the question here. Or are Salt Esports going to hand them their first map loss, and maybe even series loss as well?
Well, that could be possible because again, teams from the same region do tend to play together with each other, and maybe they will be, figuring out a way to deal with each other. In fact, but here we have the entire brackets for the Pakistan and Afghanistan region. We had Exploit start off against Clarity, move on to take down Max Esports. Well, they met Salt over there and they relegated them to the lower bracket, where Salt had to fight against Fear Legends once again and come in to the national final. So this is going to be it for both of these teams. These teams are going to fight for a spot either in the South Asian playoffs or in the wildcard playoffs. And well, one of these winners is also going to be getting $1,000 for themselves.
Yep, but if I'm not wrong, both these teams have already secured their spot in the South Asian playoffs there. The Pakistan and Afghanistan region. We have two slots for them, and both of them have already secured their slot in the playoffs. And the third team might actually make it to the wildcard qualifiers there. But right now, look at that, the team players there, the roster, it looks really, really strong there. On the side of Salt, Beast, Stranger, Hat, Strick, and Jivix. And on the side of Exploit, we have King, SSB, Shooter, Darky, and Soulmate. I mean, I'm really looking forward to see King and his signature jet. I really want to see. I mean, I absolutely love his sniping skills. So let's see what happens if he's going to bring the operator out quick. And there you go, as we were talking about it, dang. The map that was banned is Haven.
Well, that is going to be interesting because Haven is one of those maps that, well, really just can swing either ways. We've seen it tends to play out for the attacking side well, but then a lot of teams with their setups, with their multiple sentinels, have made Haven a map where you can defend just as well. So we'll just have to see whether Ascent, Icebox, Split, Bind, and then the final map of Breeze, are they going to be any different? Are they going to be playing against the grain, if you might want to call it? Because, well, that is really when you start understanding how well these teams are prepped. Because if you can figure out a way to play against a team that has, well, not really set up for that is not well prepped enough for a map to swing in the other direction, and they are able to perform well, that is when you really understand the team is ready and understands that map. We've seen this a lot of times. Ascent sometimes just plays out for the attacking side simply based on the agent lineups that you have. And well, a team that is well prepped for Ascent, a team that understands Ascent, is still able to get the better of the other team.
Right about that, and this is what they are playing for right now. The total prize pool of 30,000 US dollars. The national qualifiers, India and Pakistan and Afghanistan, they have $2,000 each for the grand final winners there. And then Bangladesh and Maldives, they have 1,000 US dollars to go in their way. Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and Nepal, 1,000 US dollars again. But that's just for the regional qualifiers, right? Once you move down to the South Asian playoffs, that's where the real game begins. MVP himself is going to be walking away with 1000 USD. You're not going to be sharing that with anyone. You keep that to yourself, that goes straight into your pocket. That's a huge amount. And then the third place winner will walk out with 2000 US dollars there. And then runners up, 6 grand right there, dang. I mean, 6,000, that's a huge amount, right? And if you go ahead and win the entire thing, you walk away with 15,000 US dollars.
Well, that is true. It is a lot of money on the line for these teams. But more than that, it's going to be about the title for the best team, not just in their respective countries, but also in their region. So that is a huge deal for a lot of these teams because, well, if you are going to be a team that is just kind of starting off in the competitive scene in South Asia, from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and India, well, you want your name out there. You want yourself to be the team as as the team that players look up to, be the team that people want to beat rather than the team that just looks around, looks to get a few wins here and there and then says, oh, we finished second, no problems, we were still able to come runners up. No one remembers the second place name. It's always the first team that teams are going to remember and want to beat. So, well, if you are a team that is watching this stream and you are playing in the days to come, make sure that you give it your best because, well, the top spot is what everyone wants.
Yep, the top spot is what everyone wants. It's not just for the prize pool, also the bragging rights and the chance to represent your country in a South Asian playoffs. That's huge, and all these players, they are waiting for that opportunity, right? I mean, yeah, both these teams have already made their way into the South Asian playoffs, but also being called the regional champions. That's huge, Tang, and that is something that these players want under their title. That opportunity, that bragging rights, it feels good, right? The confidence you move on to. I mean, yeah, you both are going into the South Asian playoffs, but imagine the confidence you would have if you win and are called the regional champions. That confidence boost might be enough to push you through the South Asian playoffs and maybe walk away the winners of the entire thing as well.
Well, yes, that is definitely true, and we will just have to wait and see what these teams will be having to offer because, again, it just comes back down to the fact that sometimes things don't go as planned, and maybe Exploit was able to get the better of Salt Esports in the last game before they were sent down to the lower bracket finals. But this time, maybe things change. This time, maybe Salt has an ace up their sleeve, but all of that is going to have to wait because we're loading into the map of Ascent, and just before that we have the rosters of both these teams in front of us. So, well, let's quickly go over those so that we know which players are going to be entering the lobby. As for Salt, we have Beast, we have Stranger, we have Hats, Strix, and Jivix. And as from the side of Exploit, we have King, HSB, Shooter, Darky, and Soulmate.
And yeah, let's just take a second to absolutely enjoy these cinematics here coming in. I mean, the map of Ascent, the classic map of Valorant, the map that I hate, to be honest. But yeah, it's gonna be Ascent first, then Icebox, Split, Bind, and then we're moving on to Breeze as a deciders. Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Dan,
Yep.
do you want to take us through the
Well,
season selection here?
it seems that Team Exploit is going in for more of an initiating gameplay. They're keeping one duelist with them, which is going to be the Jet. So their opping skills have to be on point, but they're having two initiators, which means that King can go in for those reveals and then HSB can clear up the rest with his aftershock fault line or his flashpoint. So that means that they will be having a lot of pushing potential. But one thing that is good on the other side of Salt is that, well, they're going in for that similar KJ Astra Jet pickup, but they're changing out Jivix on the Sky instead of Breach on HSB, which means that, well, instead of having the raw pushing potential into side, they're going to be having a little bit of more of an intel based gameplay thanks to the Tiger that they will be having and also the healing that Jivix will be providing on that Sky. So it's going to be a very delicate balance for both of these teams to really come out on top, but let's see whose strategy is going to be on point.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm absolutely in love with the way that Team Explorer has, made their agent composition here. The Breeze and Silver, I think it's a really dope lineup, having those two initiators. But at the same time, Salt went in with Sky and Sova, right? So this is one change, and everyone else is kind of the same. So Sky versus Breach, dang. I mean, that's huge thing, right? Both of them, they have two flashes each.
Yep.
They also have a concussion each. Sky, she has Seekers, while Breach, he gives you the complete control of the entire site if the ult
Yep.
is used in the right way. So that is something. But also, Sky has heal. That is an advantage to the side of Salt Esports, because on the side of Exploit, no healer, no self healer as well, no Reyna, no Phoenix, right?
Yep.
So, but the thing here, HSB, instead of healing their teammates, he damages the opponent with his aftershock. So that is one advantage that Exploit might have. But Salt, since the Sky can heal in an AoE, I think has an upper hand here. Maybe a slight edge over Breach, but it all depends on how they play. And right now, this is the regional finals. Pakistan and Afghanistan. Team Exploit going head to head versus Salt Esports in a BO5 match number 1. That is Ascent. Any predictions, Tank?
Well, predictions are always going to be one of the most difficult things to do, especially when you have the lineups that are so similar. I mean, we don't see any specific change between both of these teams that tells us, oh, that this team is going to be having this advantage thanks to this meta. But I guess this time I'm going to have to give it to Exploit for this, because, well, though HSB is on that breach and they do not have any kind of heals, I think that right here those heals are not going to be such a big difference maker in terms of, well, what Salt will be able to achieve with those 100 HP points that they will be able to return to their teammates. So I think that it's going to be really coming down to the fact that HSB along with the Sova will have so much information to push in. It looks like Darky is going to get 2, but HSB has been put out of his misery really soon. Stranger is going to get 1, and Darky just jumps down, gets that 3k. It's all down to the remaining player of Sky. And well, one flash in hand, no heals with her, and that is the reply that Exploit gives to Salt. Well, you want heals? Take that.
Damn, that was actually really quick. And now it's all down to Jivix in a 1 versus 4. There's no way he should be able to even survive this, because that gravity well, okay, my bad. Gravity well is good enough in case they will take him down. One man down, and that's about it. Team Exploit starting off really strong here, Dank.
Well, that was a very aggressive push. All players coming into mid. I think they kind of expected Salt to do that as well, because I don't know, maybe it was the stars that were getting placed, but that mid push coming in from the side of Exploit just really paid the dividends for themselves. Right now, it seems to be a complete stack, or no, there you go. You're seeing the KJ as well as, or no, that's the Astra and the Sova going in for those rotates. Trix is going to go in for a peek, but he does get spotted out and does take quite a few points of damage. So now maybe Jivix can use that heal now for his teammates and get him back up to HP. But HSB, he's ready with the flash. He's going to go in for the concussion as well, and Darky is going to capitalize. He's going to get that kill as well. Beast is going to pull one back, but it does seem that they're going to be extremely low on HP. But Beast with another classic kill is going to get Darky. The Spectre is now going to be able to be recovered, and well, it does seem that they had a chance to push into a side, but the Marshall that was being held by Shooter is just going to be devastating for the side of Salt.
Yep. There you go, the Shooter, and his Marshall is in, but the damage for King. Yep, that was a good spray with the Ares there, and my bad, I actually thought King was the one that plays Jet, but it was actually Shooter. I got confused there as well. Shooter is the one that usually picks Jet, and King is usually really dope on his Sova, right? So Sova and Ares and Odin on the map of Ascent, that's classic Valorant these days. And and Ascent is also a classic map of Valorant. Like every time someone says Valorant, the first thing that comes into my mind is the map of Ascent. Although I do hate the map for personal reasons, but it's a really good map, and we've seen a lot of pros play this map as well. And there's a lot of possibilities as well, but oh boy, this time it's gonna be Trick with the first blood. Hans gets another one, and now Beast gets the kill on the Darky, and just like that, a 2v5. Salt Esports upper hand early in the round.
Well, that is going to be something that is going to be... Oh, that was close. The dink came in, but again, it was just not enough for Exploit to get a kill for themselves, and a team ace is going to be called. Well, the bonus did not go as planned for Exploit, but still, a bonus is a bonus, and they're able to buy up just anything and everything they want right now. And King, he's going to be picking up that Odin, and Shooter is going to be going in for that Operator. So they have two high value weapons on their hands at this point of time, and they need to make sure that they get this round, because otherwise that Op or that Odin are going to be extremely useful for any player who is going to be playing on the side of Salt.
You're right about that. And now those two weapons are going to be crucial and important. They better make good use of it, otherwise that's a lot of investment going into waste there. And now you see the aggression is no more. Oh boy, Beast was smart enough to hide behind the box there, but so they're not dealing any damage right now. At least they do have the information, but Beast once again takes out his counterpart Soul Mid there, and he's down to 48 points of health, so he might be going back to top mid to get himself healed up by the Sky, get back to 100 points of health. Oh yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. But yeah, I'm still a man advantage for Salt Esports.
Well, yes, so that is going to be an advantage that they do have, as the wall bangs are still not stopping from King. Well, just make sure you don't run out of bullets, my friend, because, well, that would be a bad situation for you to be in. Well, another recon is going to be going out, but with 35 seconds on board, Salt has only made progress for getting a single pick on the KJ. Now, well, that is a big pick, not to because that opens up the B site for an execute, but you still have to deal with this Odin, and anyone walking through this, except that Jet, is probably going to be more down. But it looks like Beast is just ready for that play, because he's going to be getting that frag, and the recon is going to be spotting HSB. He's also in a vulnerable state, but he gets that first frag. He's going to turn around, he gets the second one, but not the third. The site is in the hands of Salt. They get that spike down, and well, the retake is now going to have to be played by Exploit with an Operator in hand.
Oh my god, 2 versus 3 all of a sudden. HSB did manage to get 2 kills there, so that was actually really good. I did not expect him to get the second kill on the Jet there. But oh no, Shooter misses out. He's gonna get taken down, isn't he? He's gonna get taken down, but Jimmy turns around and gets another one on the Darky, finishing things off for the side of Salt Esports. But the way that Beast is entering for the side, into the side, Team Exploit, they need to start worrying. Salt Esports, they must be feeling really confident here. This game is gonna go down to the wire, going neck to neck right now, 2-2, and the economy on the side of Team Exploit is destroyed already. One Odin and an Operator was actually dropped, and it was not picked up for some reason. Maybe on the attacking half, they do not want to pick up an Operator, but you can see the players of Salt Esports, smiles on their faces right now, because they knew that round was important, because 2 big guns were pulled out and dropped as well.
Well, that's true. An Odin is not a cheap investment, and well, that recon is going to be spotting the players inside mid, and they will have to make a fall back. I believe this is going to be either an eco or a half buy coming in from these players of Exploit, but again, they need to be really careful about Salt pushing in. But there you go, the first aggressive play comes out. King is going to get spotted out. He is going to lose his life. Shooter lands one shot, but not in headshot with the Marshall. Does only 101 damage. And well, he's going to make a fall back. But the Astra is going to be going in for a wide swing with her gravity pull. Pays the price. Jivix was not caught. And well, that seems to be a round that Exploit is going to be losing any second now. But it looks like he gets 1 kill. So, well, it is what it is. They don't get the spike down, and neither do they get a flawless win for themselves.
HSB was like, you want flawless? Nope, I'm gonna take one of the players down. But yeah, once again, Beast is an absolute monster right now. He's taking those entry frags, getting those entry kills. I think out of the 5 rounds, he got 3 entries already. So on a KJ, that is impressive, Tank.
Well, that is definitely true. I think that Beast is really showing up for his team right now, and Salt, well, they're doing a lot better than at least what the score lines we saw between both these teams predicted. So let's take a moment to really just maybe slow down. Let's see, maybe Exploit has something that we are just not ready for just yet. Shooter has picked up that Operator once again, so well, he is back with the weapon that he lost in the 3rd round. But this Killjoy lockdown is going to be a free side execute, and well, the Breach ultimate as well as the Killjoy ultimate are 2 of these kind of plays that, well, can really make sure that you get a free site for yourself. But it looks like the lockdown has been destroyed. The flash goes in, the gravity well is going to be popped in the back. Soulmate is going to get spotted out in the open. Soulmate gets one, goes Soulmate gets two. Jivix is going to stop him. And finally the Seekers come out. And once again in a 2v3 situation, are we going to be seeing a retake happening? But it looks like the ultimate from Breach is going to get used. HSB is going to be completely blind, but Darky is going to be there to make sure that he can get some kind of a job done for his team. HSB is just going to stick it. Pro Stone fake, and Astra is just waiting. And oh boy, that is going to hurt quite a bit for the side of Salt. They had a wonderful execute. They had everything set up until HSB came in with that ultimate and said, you know what, the party's mine.
Exactly. I mean, we were talking about that, right? Sky versus Breach, and you can see it. I mean, both of their ultimates at the same time. Sky Seekers were out. That ultimate from Breach secured the round. I don't think it got Astra, but it definitely got Jet there. But so, you know, Jet instantly went down. HSB, although it was private, still managed to get the kill. That was absolutely beautiful gameplay coming in from HSB. But this Breach is gonna be the X factor for the side of Exploit, and that Sky is the X factor for Salt Esports. But right now, it looks like HSB is putting Breach up to a better use than Sky is on the side of Salt Esports.
Well, that is definitely true, and I think that the fact that we are seeing, what do you say? The fact that we are seeing such a close competition between both of these teams, despite that 2-0 scoreline, just tells me that maybe Salt kind of fell short on both the maps that they played, and a BO5 like this is going to mean a completely different story for both of these teams. It looks like Shooter has been spotted in that corner, but they have the Breach to prevent that push coming through, but he's playing right around that smoke. Maybe a wall bang coming through could be a simple kill for a player of Salt, but it looks like as the concussion went through, the players are going to be going in for that rotate.
Yep, they might as well go for the rotate right now, but it's still going really, really slow. I mean, 35 seconds on the clock is still 5v5. That is something you usually don't see, and just as I say that, HSB gets the first kill on the Jivix now. 30 seconds on the clock, a 5 vs 4 man advantage to the side of Team Exploit right now. It looks like it's going to be a B hit, but KJ is distracting towards that short area. Salt Beast once again gets the kill. Okay, the lockdown has been initiated on the defending half this time. King gets the kill on the Drake as Shooter. Beautiful shot on the stranger, but Soulmate gets the kill on the hats, and that's about it. Darky will finish things off by getting the kill on the Beast. One ultimate, actually two ultimates, being used in this round. Bladestorm and the lockdown, but doesn't really matter because they just secured the fourth round on the board, and for themselves, that is Team Exploit.
Well, yes, that is going to be another round for Team Exploit, but it does seem that the buys are still going to be there for both these teams, and they're still extremely fragile. So even if Exploit win this round with a lot of casualties, they still might not be able to get a lot of buys for themselves. And as for the side of Salt, well, you lose this round, you're definitely heading over to an eco, because only a few of your players are going to be having weapons that you can use. And it looks like Trick is just going to be ready for HSB holding that peak once again, and that is exactly why you don't do the same thing twice, my friend. Darky playing inside that cover and pushing out is going to get punished. That smoke doesn't cover the entirety of Vine, and well, he's going to pay the price with a headshot and his life.
Oh boy, and now look at Jet's position on top of the generator, but never mind, it actually made its way back down there. And now in a 5 vs 3, the spike is going to get planted, which means they only have 45 seconds to defuse the spike and maybe even kill 5 of the players. But yeah, that alarm boy is going to be taken down. Swamp Grenade being used, Shock Darts being used. They do have the Hunter's Fury as well, so I think this round is going to go into the favor of Salt Esports unless Team Exploit pull out something miraculous from their bag right now. Soulmate, he can actually get the kill on the Sky if he just peeks out right now. Never mind, it's gonna be Trick going down. Soulmate gets another one of the beats, which is gonna be with one hat with another one. Shooter with his reply, but he's gonna get taken down by hats. 3 vs 5 down to a 2 vs 1. That was close, but not close enough by Team Exploit right now. And Salt Esports, they must be feeling really, really confident because even on the attacking side, they're doing really good going neck to neck against Team Exploit here.
Well, that is exactly what we said. Even if Exploit were able to win that, they still wouldn't be able to afford the buys. And well, they lost that, and now they are facing, and I mean, they're not facing an eco to be fair, but well, they're down to 3 digits on every single player, including an operator on shooter. So this is a huge investment. And the last time when they were in a situation like that, HSB and Darky just getting a little bit too aggressive on A main, and well, they paid the price, and that was a free site execute coming in from the side of Salt, and they didn't even have to use their Killjoy ultimate.
Yep, they do have 4 ultimates on the side of Salt. Esports is going to be Cosmic Divide coming into play right now. But they have 3 players on towards that A-shot area. But can they make a difference is the question. Hunter's Fury dealing a lot of damage. Actually takes on Darky. Salt Trey gets one on the shooter. Gets another one on HSB. Now down to a 2 versus 5. So is really, really low. So I think this round is pretty much done and dusted. 2 ultimates being used once again from Salt Esports. But for good news, because that's going to be the 5th round of the board. There's no way Team Expolit should be able to even get a single frag here, because look at the post-plan positions coming in from all the players here. Perfect crossfires, but Soulmate, he's just spraying through the smoke. Maybe get a couple of kills, but Soulmate's kind of low. I think he was tagged by the Hunter's Fury there. Oh, Soulmate, he spots out Sky. They want to go with the flash, and Jivix, he got baited, but Soulmate, he was just not ready for him. That's going to be King, saving his Vandal, and 5th round on the board for Salt Esports.
Well, this is going to mean that we are seeing another round on board for Salt. And it seems that the attackers seem to have the advantage in this playoffs. Or rather, in this certain set of matches rounds that we've seen so far. So, again, it just comes back down. Ascent, when you ask someone, is it defender-sided or attacker-sided? Everyone's going to be defender-sided. But right now, as the map is playing out, it really is just swinging in both directions. And this is something that we have seen happen to Ascent as well as Haven across the time that we've seen this map in competitive. Haven started off as an aggressively attacker-sided map. You get that spike down and then you just play lineups and you get a free win. Ascent was similar. You get the spike down, you wait for the team to get the spike down, and then you play retake. And that was the strategy that a lot of teams used. But now it seems that things aren't looking the same. But one thing that is definitely the same is that the top fraggers for both these teams are not going to be the duelists, but are instead the Killjoys.
Somehow, I mean, we've had it yesterday as well. The Sentinels were on top. Obese once again. How many entry frags does this guy already have? I really need to check it later on, but right now Salt Esports once again with the advantage, a man advantage. Cosmic Divide available on the side of Team Exploit, Bladestorm and Seekers on the side of Salt Esports, but this round should go into the favor of Salt Esports. They should not be having any more casualties here because it's an eco round coming in from Exploit, right? So I don't think they're going to be using that Cosmic Divide anytime soon in this particular round. Seekers being deployed, that gives away the information, but Shooter, okay, headshot onto I think that headshot onto the Jet there, but that's about it. Being healed up, and oh, HSB! What was that?
Oh,
A beautiful shot just comes out of the smoke and casually one taps. Oh my god, that was insane coming in from HSB. He's really good with his aim and the Sheriff right now.
well, that is definitely true. And HSB is having, as you can say, a little bit of a shaky game, but it's all down to Exploit's Astra, Darky, to come and get this clutch in for his team. Now, he has a Sheriff, so he can land those shots very easily, as well as get that clutch for himself. So the gun bait is coming through, but it looks like Jivix does not want to give his kill away. And there you go, he's going to peek and get that frag. A free Sheriff for him. He's not going to have any problems with that. 6 rounds to 4. Salt Esports is on their way to, in fact, making sure that the side of Exploit lose their first matchup in this playoff.
Yeah, first matchup in the entire tournament, that is. You know, they did not drop a map, and Team Exploit, I mean, it's not over until it's over, but right now Salt Esports, they have a 2-round advantage on the attacking side, attacking half of the map of Ascent. I mean, keep in mind, this was the map pick of Team Exploit, if I'm not wrong. I'm sorry, this is the map pick of Salt Esports. So they know what maps they're strong on, right? We were talking about this dying earlier. Like, you kind of have to pick the map that you're strong and you're feeling confident about, regardless of what your opponents think. And if your opponents are weak on it, that's just, I mean, you just are lucky right now. But if your opponents are also good, then you just have to be confident that you are the better team on that particular map. Right now, you can see the drone play coming in. Pretty basic, pretty classic coming in. The alarm bot and swarm grenade being activated at the same time. Then the rotations have already been made from Team Exploit. Salt Esports, can they get the entry? They definitely can, but Shooter with an instant reply this time shuts down Beast. No more entry frag from you, my man. But all the 4 players are towards the side. 1 KJ ultimate, and they can actually secure the side if I'm not wrong. Because no ultimate from Sova there from Salt Esports, and there you go. Defenders Killjoy has initiated a lockdown.
Well, King is going to be getting a shot, and Shooter at that close range is able to get one more, but Trick, having the advantage with that weapon, is able to pick up 2 frags, and HSB once again is just looking to stick it. And what? The dash a little bit too premature, and is going to make sure that Trick does not get that kill, and both of them just spray around along with each other, and oh boy, that doesn't seem to go in the same direction that we expected to. There was so much time for Trick to land that shot. It's just unfortunate that HSB was able to stick it through, and he was at the last possible moment. Getting that clutch for his team is going to mean such a huge thing, because if they did not win that round, they were definitely heading over to a half buy or a broken buy coming in from either one of these players. And well, that is certainly something that you would not want to see. Now that is going to be a really interesting lineup. Standing right up against that brick, we're going to be seeing a throw that comes through. We'll just have to make sure, where does this land? It seems that it does land right at heaven. So maybe that is going to prevent the peak coming in from heaven. Yep, there you go. We can see the swarm grenade on the rafters, and that is just going to be extra information for all of us. And well, a new lineup that we all have just learned.
Yep, taking us to school here, so all these boats. But on the sad part, the jet from Salt Esports has gone down here, unfortunately. And now the only way that Salt Esports can enter a site is through the KJ's lockdown. But Sova on the side of Team Exploit King, he has his Hunter's Fury, Cosmic Divide available as well. Breach has the ultimate, and Bladestorm has already been activated.
Well, yes, that is going to be the case, but Darky, he does not need to have anything else. He's just going to be getting that free pick. He does get taken out, but Soulmate is going to be getting the better of the opponent KJ, as Beast is going to get taken out as well. And well, the Breach utility is just proving to be so strong for the side of Exploit that they don't have to do anything. They're just waiting for the push to come through. And well, there you go. 1 flash, then 1 concussion, 1 ultimate, 1 aftershock, 1 flash, and that is already so much time wasted out as well. It seems that we're going to be seeing King finish it off on Stranger with a Hunter's Fury. And well, 6-6. Team Exploit still have their chances up, but this pistol round is really going to be telling us which direction are we headed to. Are we headed towards Salt Esports winning against Exploit for the first time in this playoffs, or are we going to be seeing Team Exploit drop a map for the first time?
Maybe. I mean, there's a first time for everything. But this is something that Team Exploit doesn't want, right? They don't want to drop a map. They want to be a team that does not drop a map and go to the South Asian playoffs. With that confidence, that amount of confidence, that's going to help them in the South Asian playoffs as well. Because you're not going to be facing teams from your own region this time. We're going international. So that is something to keep in head, keep in your mind, and focus on your own gameplay. And if Team Exploit plays the way that they usually play, if I'm not wrong, they were almost there in the grand finals of another tournament last time. So if they play as they usually do, Team Exploit is one of the biggest contenders one of the biggest teams to look out for other teams of other regions as well.
Well, I agree. I think that it comes back down to understanding that different regions do tend to have a different sandbox, if you might want to call it, because well, teams that play in the same region, play together, or have been playing against each other for a long time will try to kind of just play against each other rather than try to figure out the general meta, and which is why lands like Iceland as well as Berlin are that important. We understand which region has the best playstyle, we understand which region has the best team, the best aimers, the best strategies, and well, this time we saw that it was Gambit who was able to take it away. And well, that tells us that last time it might have been NA's raw gun skill that was able to take them forward, but this time it was Europe's big brain plays that were able to finish the side of, will take over NA. So will we be seeing a similar thing over here? Team Exploit and Salt, they represent the best that Pakistan and Afghanistan have to offer. And are we going to be seeing something, are we going to be seeing something similar coming in from the side of either one of these teams once they do mix up in the region of, once they do mix up against the teams of this different regions that we have in the game right here?
And now the second half. Finished the round. Here we go. Drake gets the kill and heads his speed. Darky. It's an instant trade. Gets a double there actually. Darky make that a triple. He's down to low points as well, but that's about it. Salty's puts on the back row once again. It's gonna be Stranger gonna kill the shooter down to a 2 versus 3. But look at that. Darky's low. Even so, a Stranger down to 3 points of health. And there you go. The shotgun lineup. Oh no. Oh no. Who's that one planting? It's KJ. So no worries there. Another shotgun coming in. Soulmate takes a bit of damage. It's gonna be Darky this time. Missing a few shots, hitting a few shots. Both of the players from the Salties but are really low. 2 versus 3. This is not looking good at all. And Darky might actually go for the ace. I think he wants to get the ace there, to be honest. He only needs to land 1 bullet each. So that recon not gonna be of any use because instantly taken down.
Well, the spike is going to be down, so Salt does have a time limit, and well, King just peeks and gets that headshot through the wall. Well, Beast is not going to be in a good position. Team Exploit seem to have this on lockdown. And well, there you go. Soulmate's just going to spot the elbow and go in for that complete peek. And well, he's going to be going in and getting rid of the last remaining player. Team Exploit win their pistol and they are going to be having a buy. Now, is Salt looking to force? Is Salt going to take that risk, take that chance of going anti-eco and try to force and buy Spectres or Buckies or whatever they would like to buy and hold on to side? But it looks like they're not going to be spending a single penny. Classics and the remaining utility that they have from last round is going to be all that they look to play around with.
Yep, I mean, Team Exploit. They're on the front foot once again. Salt Esports pushed back. 3 players actually. Oh wait, the rotations are quick from Salt Esports. Oh wait, Shooter gets 1. Shooter turns around, gets another one. That's gonna be a 3 versus 2. Sorry, 3 versus 5. Actually, scratch that. It's a 1 versus 5. Scratch that too, because the round is over here, Dang. I mean, that was a bit too quick.
Well,
how long did he? I mean, from the first point of contact, I think it took around 6 seconds, maybe 5, and the round was done and dusted. That was a pretty clean round from Shooter.
I mean, I'd say that if they were able to knock off some shields from one of these players from Salt, I'd say that was still going to be a good eco. You do not have to always get rid of 2 or 3 players to call it a good eco. If you're able to take off shields from every single one of these players, or even 3, that is going to invest 3,000 credits once again for the other team, and playing that bonus is going to be a little bit more expensive, if you might want to call it like that. But it looks like they're going to be stuck in, and Shooter, he does take a lot of damage from the 2 players that are peeking him, but he's still able to get a kill onto Hats. That's going to be a huge pick, because that means that there is not going to be any counter smokes coming in from the side of defense. And well, Salt is going to capitalize just then and there, and they pick up another frag. Shooter is a little low on HP, and well, with no Sky or any healing back for them, they will not be able to get him back up to any certain amount of HP. But well, that's fine. He can play from the back, he can play for that post plant, and his teammates like HSB Soulmate can focus on getting those frags, maybe get those ultimate points up so that they can get their lockdown as well as their breach ultimate up, so that maybe they can get 2 free site executes in the near futures.
Yep, I mean, there's no way that the Salt Esports can actually retake this side anymore. I mean, Team Exploit Shooter, he's not scared at all. He's going in, getting the entry frag, and then falls back. Absolutely beautiful gameplay coming from Team Expolit. And the execution is on point as well. And just like that, Salt Esports, they have to fall back. They're going to go for the same 3 players. That's not something you usually see. When you have a 3v5, they usually go for the retake. But they know, with no KJ and no Astra, the retake is pretty much impossible. So that's going to be the 9th on the board for Team Exploit. And now they're 1 more step closer to taking up map number 1. Keep in mind, this is a map pick of Salt Esports. Something to keep in mind, because now, I mean, after this, we'll be moving on to Icebox, the map pick of Exploit. And let me tell you that Exploit is absolutely dominant on the map of Icebox.
I mean,
Salt is good. Salt is good on Icebox, but Team Exploit, they, at least up until now, they were super dominant on Icebox.
I mean, I don't know about whether they'll be dominant in Icebox, but right now, just looking at the loadout and the buys that are there for Exploit, I kind of already feel that we are going to be seeing something really special come out from both of these teams because, well, one thing is for sure that despite having so much money and so many rounds played out, they are still having 2 Spectres on their team. It's going to be King as well as Darky, and well, they're making it work. The run and gun that you can afford to do with the Spectre is something that you just cannot do with any other gun in the game. And well, apart from a Frenzy maybe, but it looks like the Killjoy's alarm bot is going to be spotting out, and King, he's just hiding in the corner. He's going to get spotted out, but the swing comes through, and that was just bad timing. Beast is able to get the first frag in this 5v5, but Shooter, he's just ready with those headshots. Soulmate and HSB are going to start, and what a flick coming in from Shooter. Salt Beast is going to be the last one left, and Shooter just does not let him survive for any much longer because, well, a Vandal bullet to the head is an insta-kill at any range, and well, 10 rounds compared to the 6. Salt had some kind of traction going in on their defensive half, but since their defense has started, I think we're just seeing them spin their wheels and not have any traction at all.
Yeah, I mean, change of pace coming in from Team Exploit after the side switch is just incredible. I mean, all these sports, they cannot counter anything that Team Exploit is doing, right? I mean, 4-0 already. 6 rounds back-to-back in the favor of Team Exploit. That is something to worry about, and the momentum. And right now, it's a weird buy coming in from Salt Esports. A couple of marshals, I believe. Everyone else are on an eco. It's an A-stack. Okay, a gamble that they want to take, and a gamble that is gonna pay off. Hopefully, they know that KJ is on site, but they don't. Do they know that all the other 4 are here as well? Shooter takes down 1, and now they get the information. They think that only KJ is the only one alive on site. But as soon as Shooter enters, he spots another one. Zibix gets 1. Tax, Trick gets 1 as well. King gets a double for himself, and Shooter, the only one now is Trick. With a goddamn sheriff in his hand, 43 points of health tank.
Well, he's going to be in a good position, but that recon is going to force him to use his cloud burst, reveal his position, and Shooter to finish it off. But well, that was a good eco coming in from the side of Salt. Not only did they kick off a lot of weapons, and well, they made sure that a lot of players kicked the bucket, but it still did not matter because, well, they did lose their round, but it came down to the wire. And had that recon just come in, say, 5 or 10 seconds later, maybe we could be seeing Trick change his position and get some kind of an advantage in positioning to use that sheriff for himself.
You're right. But 11-6 right now is the scoreline. 5 rounds lead for the side of Exploit. And okay. Rotations. Why? Oh no, Salt Esports. These are some quick rotations and some unnecessary rotations, if I'm not wrong. They just have the recon towards B. And instant rotations. Like, hold on, guys. They might be going B. But now Salt, Stranger that is, has actually tagged one of the players. But Shooter takes down the drone. And now the players from Exploit are slowly, but definitely making their way towards that B side here, Dan.
Well, yes, that does seem to be the case. And the Killjoy utility that we saw was placed at mid, well, is not going to be available any longer. The alarm bot or the swarm grenade that was there. And well, these lineups that are coming through from the side of Exploit are going to be really, really useful. They're helping the side of Shooter really push into site and clear site out. But it looks like Stranger is going to be taking a lot of damage thanks to those Vandal shots. And well, he's just going to escape with the skin of his teeth. And well, the Sky is going to be forced to heal him back up, which means that going forward, she's not really going to be having too much of those heals available for her to deal with. But it looks like the jump comes through, but Soulmate is still able to get that frag despite being stuck in a gravity well. And Soulmate with another one. Trick is going to get 1. Beast is going to pull 2. Darky gets that cover from his teammate and gets that kill onto Stranger. We're down to a 2v2, but the defender Killjoy has been placed. Beast is going to get 1 more. He is going to get pinged. King is going to have to make sure that he gets detained to play the time, or rather, not yet certain as to why he's going to be doing that, but it looks like he's going to be coming out. Will he get that kill? Yes, he will. The big brain play coming in from King, and what a way to get the round. Purposefully detaining himself so that he is going to be present after the half defuse is pulled off, what a play coming in from the side of King. Hats off.
Big brain Sova main right there. I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
what? I
there's
mean,
there's no other way to put it.
he had no way to escape, so he was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay right next to the corner, right next to the wall, and make KJ, at least look for me. Oh no, no, Salt Esports, you're reading this completely wrong, because Exploit is on the other side of the map. It's only KJ there. Beast, the only one there in a 1 versus 5. There's no way he gets one, but that's about it. Shooter gets a kill on the Beast, down to a 4 versus 4. Cosmic Divide available on both the sides. Playstorm activated on both the sides. That's going to be the door being closed right now. Let's see, the side is completely up for grabs, and they have already taken it. Sky is up close to Shooter, but Shooter is ready for it. Let's see, is he ready enough? He definitely is. King on the other hand gets one more kill for himself, and Shooter is going to get taken down by Trick. Now down to a 2 versus 3. Ashton Divide is still available for Team Expert. Salt Esports, this is do or die. You need to get this. This is your map pick. 2 versus 3 retake situation. Ashton Divide coming into play as well. There's no way Salt Esports can actually even get into the side right now. 2 versus 3. Let alone defuse this fight, because King is up our way in B main. On the other side of the wall, no! He just gave away his position, but doesn't really matter. He's still gonna get the kill on Trick. Down to Stranger in a 1v3, 3-2-1, and King gets 3 kills for himself. That's the 13th round. Game done and dusted. Team Exploit absolutely dominant on their attacking half, completely annihilated the side of Salt Esports there.
Well, that was amazing coming in from Exploit, and they just showed us why they are going to be the team that has not dropped a single map in their playoffs. I mean, it kind of felt like we were going to be seeing something come in from the side of Salt. Some different plays coming in from either one of these teams, and we might just see Salt get an advantage. And well, to be honest, if they were able to get 6 rounds on their attack, I'd say that if it is Ascent regularly playing out, well, that is an advantage. But today, it just kind of felt like it was attacker sided. Ascent, every single team that was able to get the majority of their rounds took it on attack. I mean, Exploit, they finished the map off on attack. They were only able to get 6 rounds on their defense, and they were able to get 7 on their attack. So well, they got an advantage there. And as for the side of Salt as well, they got 6 rounds on attack, and I'm pretty sure that they were only able to manage 2 maybe on their defenses, or only 1. Well, in fact, they weren't able to get a single defense for themselves. It was Team Exploit who got the 7 rounds in a row and were able to finish it off.
Yep. I mean, what a way, right? What a way. What a match first off. I'm still out of words here. Oh boy. That was just intense gameplay coming in from both the teams from the start. But at the end, it was Team Exploit, and I still cannot believe that Salt Esports could not even get one single round, especially since they were on the defensive half there on the map of Essen here, Tang. What do you think is what do you think? Do you think that a breach was the X factor for the side of Exploit when compared to the Sky on the side of Salt Esports there?
Well, I'd say that it was not the breach, but surprisingly, it was the Sova. We saw King do a lot more, not just that clutch and that 2k at the end, but we were just seeing so much work being put out from the Killjoy coming in from the side of Team Exploit. It was Soulmate, and we saw a lot of amazing pieces of information that were carried forward for his team from the side of King. So I think that though Breach and Sky were really the only 2 differences that we were seeing between both of these teams, I think at the end of the day, the difference really just came in from the agents that that were the same.
And if you take a quick look at the scoreboard, you can actually see it in time. Surprisingly, it's not the player of Team Exploit that's on top. It's Beast, because he was going ham right from the get-go. 18 kills, 17 deaths, 1.1 KD, 1 assist, 62 econ rating, and 5 first bloods. The highest in the server there, by the way. Higher than both the duelists, that Shooter and Trick. 3 entries, 3 first bloods on Shooter, 4 first bloods on Trick, 5 on Beast. Something to be proud about. But yeah, 2 plans as well. Shooter, on the other hand, 261 average combat score, 19 kills, 12 deaths. Impressive. 3 first bloods as well. Darky, on the other hand, 15 kills, 12 deaths. 3 first bloods for himself as well. Soulmate did a really good job on the KZ for the side of Team Exploit. 15 kills, 12 deaths to him, 1 first blood. Trick, Jet, not the game that he wanted, but yeah, 11 kills, 14 deaths, 4 first bloods. So he did get the entries as his team expected him to, but just couldn't keep up with the follow ups there. King, 13, Zivix, 12, HSB, 8, that's sitting on 7 kills, and then Stranger sits on 8 here with 1 first blood each to all 3 of them.
Well, it's just going to be, really interesting to see how Icebox is going to play out. Because, well, if Exploit were able to do, were just able to get this kind of an advantage on a defender-sided map on attack, well, what will they really do on an attacker-sided map like Icebox, which also happens to be their pick, while Ascent was Salt's pick. So this is going to be interesting to see. But one thing that I am really worried about is the fact that Salt is not having all of their players perform at the same level. I mean, just look at the differences in the frags that we are seeing from both of these teams. There is only HSB from Team Exploit who is not having a positive KD. Every single other person on their side is having one, while the same cannot be said for the side of Salt. They only have Beast, who's sitting at the top of the leaderboard in the entire server, who is having a positive KD from the side of Salt. Now, it's not to say that KD and kills do matter, but if you're having 3 players who are unable to maintain a positive KD, it usually means that you tend to lose a lot more gunfights. You tend to lose those rounds that you were coming really close to. Maybe a clutches, maybe 2vx's or 1vx's are things that you're not able to finish. So if you look to finish those numbers are automatically going to be coming up. You will probably never see a team that has all 5 players having negative KD and still finish the win out, unless the other team was just trolling really hard.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, right now, Ascent, the map pick of Salt Esports, did go in the favor of Team Exploit. So now moving on to the Icebox, I'm concerned. I'm actually concerned here because that's the map pick of Exploit. I mean, if you are really dominant, at least in the second half, on your opponent's map pick, you can only expect what they have in store for us on their own map pick, right? And also keep in head, Team Exploit did not drop a map yet. 2 more wins back to back for them, and they will walk away the winners without dropping a map. But on the other hand, it's not an easy team to beat. Salt Esports, they're really strong, and Icebox, they're good at it. But are they better than Team Exploit? Is the question that we all have in our heads right now. Because Salt, they will be starting off on the defensive half. So a Viper is obviously up on cards, right? I mean, a Viper is basically mandate right now
Yeah.
these days on the map of Icebox. Maybe a Sova, but I really want to see a Sky tagging along with the Viper there.
One thing that I certainly would love to see is going to be that Breach versus Sky thing once again on Icebox, because, well, Breach might not be as useful on A side, but on B side, I think that he's just going to be one of those, as you can say, agents to deal with that are the most irritating, because, well, he can flash all the way back to Snowman and all. I mean, he has the safety of standing right at B main and using his utility all the way across the map. So that is going to be something that will really be interesting if is going to be happening. And other than that, I just feel that maybe his ultimate on A site is not just a free site execute, but kind of take spawn control for free.
Mm-hmm. True. You're right about that. I don't think, but I don't really think that Breeze is gonna be the one, usually preferred on the map of Icebox. Yeah, his flashes are really good, and his ultimate does give away the side control of A or even B, to be honest, at that point. But Sky and the flashes and using that Seekers gives you the information about the flanks as well, right? So that is something important. But what do you think about this? I've seen a lot of players play Cypher on Icebox, which I really hate. And I do not think that Cypher is the agent for the map of Icebox. But that's me. What do you think, Tank? Cypher on the map of Icebox?
Well, Cypher on the map of Icebox, B side, just Why? I mean, there's no real place that you can place your tripwires. I mean, yeah, you can place them in, really innovative spots. But once you've done that, you really don't have too much to play around on B site. A site, yes, I agree. You have a lot of ramps. You have a lot of places where you can use that cipher trap with a zip, with conjunction to the zip line, to make sure that if someone tries to sneak their way in through that zip line, is going to get caught. But again, it just comes back down to what is your imagination in terms of where you want to play those tripwires. And especially on icebox, I think that cipher is going to be kind of limited to A. Maybe you can find a good camp spot on B site and try to hold both, but I really don't see too much other than mid control being a really important thing that Cypher could also look to prevent lurks in. So, as for Cypher, I'm going to stay away from him, but Killjoy is definitely going to be someone that you would expect to see on the map 5 Icebox. Sage is a no brainer. I mean, you really want to give them a free way into kitchen by not blocking tube? I don't think so. So Sage is probably going to be something that we do see. Reyna is really strong as well. So as a duelist, I'd be looking towards that. And well, if your team plans to run the operator, well, then a jet is a no-brainer as well.
Yep, Sage, that is important. That keeps in control. If you give up that mid control, you never know where you're gonna be hit from, right? Under tube, above tube, kitchen, stairs, and the kitchen bridge towards that B side. You never know. So that is something that's kind of mandate. Yeah, you're right about that, Sage, and that you just need to wall it off and then slow on the tube. That is default gameplay coming in, but also you can wall off B main, you can wall off A side. There's a lot of possibilities with Sage. And at the same time, Sage's resurrection gives you a man advantage instantly that particular round. I mean, yeah, you're not going to be having your ultimate up every single goddamn round. Most of the time, well, let's say 4 times in a map, if you're playing that on an average. But if
Yeah.
you're playing a really strong Sage or a battle Sage, you might have it up once every 3 rounds, which means you'll have it 6 times in a map, which is really really good and gives you a team a big advantage. You know, it's a 6v5. God damn it, that's a pretty huge advantage going in, especially in the map of Icebox, because the rotations are really really quick from both the sides, right? I mean, even if you are in the attacking or in the defending, you can make the rotations quick from the kitchen and the two to side, or you can take the long way back from your B main to your T spawn to your A main to the side. But something to look out for is the lineups coming in. There are a lot of lineups here. You have the KJ lineups, you have Viper lineups, you have Sova Shock Darts. So, one thing is for sure that we'll not be seeing KO once again, unfortunately. Because, yeah, you can play KO on the map of Icebox, but would you actually pick KO instead of a Sky or a Breach or even a Sova? I don't think so, Dang.
I mean, I'll say that I have had. I mean, I personally have not had so much fun with KO on Icebox, but yes, I have played against some really good KO players, and well, they do kind of force you into a position, at least on A side. If they can land their 0 point, well, then you kind of get stuck, because the whole point of holding A side along with all of those mazes is that either you have a shotgun or a judge or something like that where you can hold those close angles and try to swing them, or wait till they swing you. But if you don't have utility, it kind of does get a little bit difficult to make sure that you walk away from that situation alive. So you're kind of forced to give up A side, which can be the premise for a lot of teams. Maybe they want to play those lineups with the, with this grenade that we get on KO along with the Viper lineups that will be present. So maybe something like towards those lines could also be used. But again, B side is a completely different story for KO as well. It's just too big for him to really capitalize on the fact that they have been suppressed and cannot use their utility.
Yep, that is true. But yeah, KO. I usually love playing KO. Sometimes when I don't get when someone else instalocks Zed instead of me, I go for KO. Simple as that, guys. Yes, I am one of those instalockers that you see on the Mumbai servers or the Singapore servers. Sometimes wherever
Yeah.
you're playing, I'm there. So yeah, apart from that, a Viper is going to be crucial. But the duelist here, what do you think? Jet, I know if you want to have the operator, we did see the map yesterday as well, the map of Icebox, where they had a Reina and couldn't go with the operator, right? Although he was a good sniper, they were not, allowed, is what I would say, the word from his teammates to pick up that operator. But Do you think that a raise is better? Because we did see Chromes, I believe, yesterday on the map of Icebox with some insane satchel plays. What about that? Jet versus Raze? If you had to pick one tank, you only have to pick one there.
I mean, I personally can't play Jet if I had to save my life, so I'm gonna go with Raze.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, with Raze you have the utility, right? You have the boom bot to clear out site, you have the nade to clear out corners, and you also have satchel to clear out corners and prevent the spike from being planted as well. But with that, you can see the veto once again. Haven was the only map banned by Exploit, and then Salt picked Ascent, and they absolutely got one-sided in the second half. Can we say that?
Yep,
Because first half
seven
it was
zero.
pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, first half it was 6-6. I actually thought we were gonna go down the wire 13-10 or something, but then Exploit switched up gears, and Salt, they just couldn't catch up. They were still in that second gear, while Exploit, they were cruising in that sixth goddamn gear. Completely destroyed them 7-0 on that attacking half. First map, Ascent goes in the favor of Team Exploit, 13-6. And now moving on to Icebox. It might go either way, and then we will go into the map of Split. But Team Exploit, they want to end it on Split. They do not want to play Bind and Breeze, not because they're bad at it, but because they want to end it ASAP and walk away with the 2,000 US dollars as well.
Well, that is true. I think that as far as things stand on Icebox, this is really the biggest opportunity that Salt will have. They're starting off on defender side, which means that they will not have the outright advantage. But if they're able to squeeze out 4 rounds, if they're able to squeeze out 5 rounds, I think that we will be seeing a really good attacking half from them. As for Exploit, well, I really don't know what to expect. I'm expecting a lot of aggressive plays because every single pistol round that we have seen Exploit play on, they've pushed mid on Ascent. Who pushes mid on Ascent in a pistol round? No one except Exploit. And they were able to walk away with the win on it every single time. So if aggression is what we're going to be seeing, then, well, Exploit does certainly have an advantage that they can take home with them.
Oof, yep, that is something to look out for. I mean, mid control. Do not let Team Exploit take mid control Salt if you want to have any advantage. I mean, if you want to have any chances of winning Icebox there. I mean, Team Exploit, they're really, really strong. Salt is not bad on the map of Icebox either. But since Exploit picked this map, you need to be a little cautious, right? Play a little more smarter, be careful, and maybe hand Exploit their first map loss. Because
Well,
Salt,
yeah.
it's not an easy team to beat. I did play against a few of the Assault Esports player in an MM in a pug. I did have the opportunity to play against them, and let me tell you, oh boy, they're absolutely insane. I think it was Jet and Viper or Sky, but let's see if they're going to be sticking to the same lineup that they picked from the last match, that is Ascent, or are they going to be changing things up? I mean, replacing Astra with Viper, obviously, but you want to go ahead with the predictions right now, Dang, or do you want to wait for the agent selection there?
Well, I think I'll wait for the agent select because that will just give me a little bit of an opportunity to kind of visualize as to what might happen in the map going forward. But again, it's going to be a little bit off a wait as we see the agent lineup come up on our screen. But till then, we have the beautiful visuals from the map over here, which is going to be the belt. We have the multiple teddy bears that are going to be placed across the map. Sometimes they're going to be in positions that you would not see unless you had a spectator cam up for you. And well, we have some puns right here for the employees of Icebox as well. Keep up the great work.
Yep, I mean the devs from Riot, they are the developers and everyone. They're having a little bit of fun there. But here we go. This is what we were waiting for. Jivix has picked up the Sova hats, has picked up the Jet. Beast once again on that on the KJ there.
Yep.
And hold up just a
We
second.
have
Okay, I think
a mirror
a
line.
bit of technical. Okay, no, that wasn't what I was worried about. I think we have a technical issue there. I think the defenders is the Exploit and attackers is the
Yeah.
Salt Esports. The logo there. I mean, okay, I was confused. I was like, Beast, wait, how is he in Team Exploit? Because he was playing for Salt Esports. So yeah, a bit of a technical issue there, but yeah, it's gonna get fixed anytime soon. But yeah, Stranger and Trick. Trick has picked up that stage, and Stranger sticks to that Viper. Mirrored lineup, as you said, Dang. So what do you think this? What do you think about this? No Sky here. It's the Sova that has been picked up.
Well, it seems that we can kind of give up the Sky. We can play without the Sky on Icebox, because with Sova giving you that much of information and Viper basically blanketing the angles that you need to worry about, the Sky really does not need to be something that you need to rely on that much. But again, one thing is for certain, with a agent that can flash, say a Sky, a Breach, a Rena, a Phoenix, anything, you do have some flexibility in pushing in towards side, and that is something that you cannot deny. Yes, with the Sova and the Viper, you still get the job done, but if you lose either your Sova or your Viper, suddenly your job just becomes so much more difficult.
Oof, you're right about that. You need your teammates to stay alive, and right now, here we go. The grand final, the region grand finals there of Pakistan and Afghanistan. Team Exploit versus Salt Esports. Team Exploit, they're already up one map. That is the map of SN. And right now, this map number 2, pistol round. Here we go.
Well, it's going to be a Sheriff pick coming in from one of these players, but Hats, he already knows where the recon is going to be coming up. He spots 2 players. The dash comes through from both the jets, so they're not going to be having their dashes just yet. But it looks like King is going to spot 1. Hats gets a frag for himself, but Shooter is able to get the return frag. And well, that Sheriff ringing out in the distance is definitely going to be something that Salt will have to worry about. As for HSB, he's given up that breach, back up on that Sova, and Jivix, his teammate of Trick, as well as the Viper, are now going to have to mount a way to retake this side and get the spike diffused in the time that they have left.
Yep, a 4 versus 3 situation. Actually scratched that a 1v4 right now. So made it Shooter got themselves a kill each. So was taking a bit of damage that Jivix, yes, he's gonna get taken down by his counterpart. HSB on the side of the Exploit. Exploit once again. Deja vu, only one player went down. Oh, a bit of crowd spam there. But yeah, Salt Esports, they need to step up right from the get-go. They should not let Team Exploit have a good lead. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard for them to make a comeback. Because Team Exploit, it is a map pick. Don't forget that.
Well, yes, that is true. I think that it does come to the point where you have to understand at a certain point of time, it doesn't matter whether a map is attacker or defender sided. If you are able to get the rounds consistently, you're able to keep your economy up. And well, Shooter, he's just going to go, you know what, I don't care about whether it's an eco or not. He's going to get one. Trick does get one more for himself, but he's going to be facing a dash coming in from Shooter. But the right click, how do you do that? I hit a right click at that range, and the game just tells me, you know what, you shot him in the leg once, that's 11 damage for you. And well, it does seem that the right click that these players are going to be using is going to be the double headshot kind, because that was a good flick coming in from Trick. Well, it doesn't do the job, but it does net him a kill at least.
Yeah, if Trick was the one playing Jet last time, right? And now we see Hats. And yeah, I remember now who was the player that I played against on the map of Icebox. It was actually Hats on that Jet. He was absolutely dominant and, completely wrecking ham everywhere. But now he has an operator in his hand with no armor, no shields at all. HSB going with a full bonus there, only his sheriff in his hand. Shooter has invested with 650 in the bank, the goddamn Vandal. But nothing to worry about there, because they can actually go and drop him a gun next time if in case they lose this bonus there.
Well, it's not going to be about the bonus, but that one way poison orb that had been put up. Well, it looks like Strangers is going to go in for that spray. He gets 2 before Darky is finally going to be coming in. He's going to be stuck as he gets taken, or rather he's going to be netting a kill for himself. King gets 1 more, but Jivix is going to come in and get that trade. Now for Team Exploit, they're going to be having a man disadvantage. The operator is still not back up on side, and what a connect onto Beast. Oh boy, that is definitely going to be a shot that he is going to remember. Hats is going to punish Darky for holding that peak on him with that operator, but it's all down to Shooter to make sure that he can get his team this win. He's going to play jiggle along with his... Well, he's going to play jiggle along with his counterpart, and it does seem to be the case that, well, the classic that was there on Salty Esports side is going to be coming out on top.
Yep, but that's a really good bonus round, to be honest. I mean, 3 players went down, the spike went down as well. So an incredible bonus round from Team Exploit. Oh no, wait. Shooter does not have enough money, but I mean, he does have the playstyle available, so I think he's going to be using that. But actually, I thought one of the players might have enough money to drop Shooter this particular round. But look at the economy on the side of Salt Esports. It's broke. They are going to be investing once again into this round. Light shields, 3 vandals, an operator, a bulldog. But if they lose this round, it's all done and dusted again. And there you go, the blade stomp being activated there. Oh, is he going to be landing the shot? Nope, it's going to be Hatched with the kill on the Shooter. Man advantage early in the round. Salt Esports looking strong right now.
Well, the Killjoy turret is definitely going to get taken out, but Exploit, they've lost a body. They have the ultimate to work with, and that is exactly what they're going to be popping. But HSB spots the head on Hats, and well, you miss a shot with that operator, you pay the price. And well, the Vandal does not forgive you for missing your shot, because well, that headshot that connected was more than enough to take almost a 5,000 credit weapon off the hands of the team of Salt. But it looks like Beast is just going to be pushing in. He does get taken out, but there's a swing coming through, and 2 players are going to be coming up. Jivix, Soulmate, and Trick just going to be exchanging bullets. It's all down to HSB. He gets one from the back. The shock dart comes out. Will he get the second one? The recon is going to prevent the Sage from just taking it. She's going to ping that and wait for the peak, but she's not even half to fuse this. She does not have the time. She needs to play this around, and HSB walking around the box. Oh boy, he gets that clutch. He's going to ask his teammates, do you want that up? Well, the answer is no. And well, they will not be looking to pick that up any second now. Any moment now.
I mean, especially after the first kill by Hats, I did not think that they would have any chances of losing this round. All these points, but HSB played it beautifully in a 1v2 there. But now, Salty Sports on the back foot once again. They have to eco, and they're actually forced to eco this. A Blazestorm coming into play here. Oh no, they did not get spotted. He actually did get spotted. One of the blades being used, 4 more blades available. He's gonna get tagged with the drone as well. He's in a really tough spot. He just needs to stay alive for a little bit longer. Viper on the side of Team Exploit does have his ultimate available. And oh, what?
King.
Oh, I think he got timed there. I don't think he saw him. I think he got timed there. Yeah,
he got timed over there, and the second that he went out, the ping also made it a lot more difficult for him. And well, there you go. Shooters running in with that Apache. The attack helicopter drifting, or rather drafting and shooting. That is what you call an attack helicopter. Going brr from the sky. And well, there you go. King just, I don't know, styled? What do you call it? I don't know. He styled on the Jet on the other team.
Yep. He just wants that style points as well, the confidence. It's all about destroying your opponent's confidence while increasing your own teammates as well. Oh, wait, Stranger. Oh, I think the ultimate is going to come into play here from Salt Esports, the Viper ultimate, because I see it just being picked up. I'm expecting the ult. There you go. Ult being popped onto us, a beast side, but it's of no use. Cause Shooter, what the hell was that? That was nasty. Coming in from him. Oh no. Hat's missing out. First shot. He actually spots and misses again? Ouch, not something what I expected.
Yep, that is true, but on the other side, it's going to be the Killjoys from both these teams taken out, as Darky will be able to get that resurrection, but Trick is able to finish him off once again. The ultimate getting wasted, as Shooter and Soulmate are going to be getting a frag each, but this Viper ult is definitely going to be paying dividends for the side of Exploit, because well, now they have a lot of cover to play around with, and well, Stranger on the backstab, he might be able to do some quick work of the Sage that is holding towards the odd position.
And there you go, the ultimate being used from Stranger, but it's kind of put to waste, right? I mean, there's no way to judge. Can he actually get? Yep, that's gonna be a free upgrade to an Oni Phantom, and that Radiant buddy looks absolutely beautiful on that weapon. But yeah, the skins in the game as well, man. I mean, it's just too good. Oh wow, okay. Stranger was actually predicting this, and he was ready. But is he ready for HSB? He is not ready at all for this. HSB is on fire. He's really, really good at catching people off guard. And right now, he's doing what he does best, and that is getting those insane kills. But the first kill from Shooter onto Beast, that was just nasty. But a 4-round lead for the side of Expolit right now. I mean, they're just cruising away right now. They're walking away with the lead, with the momentum, and if it keeps on happening, Salt Esports, they might have some things to worry about.
Well, one thing that is for certain that, oh boy, there you go. Hats is going to pay the price once again with Shooter just landing that headshot, not having any kind of problems. And well, it looks like it's going to be another aggressive push. King is able to get another kill for himself. Jivix is going to be making his way up, but it looks like the Sheriff is going to connect finally from Trick, who is still being able to land those shots despite being on the Sage. He gets a second one for himself. The heal is going to get popped. One bullet in the magazine, but Soulmate, here's the reload. Spots him, shoots him, and well, that's going to be 6 rounds up for the side of Team Expolit.
Here.
Yep, 6 rounds up, but that was a pretty close round once again, right? Oh, there you go. We haven't seen a timeout in a really, really long time there. But this shot from Shooter was absolutely good, on point with that is precise gunplay there. Look at that. He's super confident. But Trick, boom. And this one onto the case as well. Boom. It was absolutely beautiful. I think he would have got the kill on the Viper as well, but he instead opted to reload. Absolutely got time there. But what do you think is the discussion here, Tank? What do you think they're talking about? Salt Esports, 5 rounds down. What do you tell to your team right now?
Well, 5 rounds down, I tell them that, you know what, let's just focus on getting 3 or 4 more rounds. Make it a total of 4 or 5 rounds in this matchup. Not give those early picks, because every single time on A, that updraft and the peak is coming in from Shooter, and every single time we see Salt Esports either be their KJ or their Jet or their Sova, give a free pick away, and that is really what is allowing Shooter and his team to make those aggressive plays. They lose, they pick one player, they realize, oh, this part of the map is going to be empty. They push in, they're already ready for the next gunfight, while the player from Salt is rotating to fill in the position that was just given up by the player they lost. So they kind of keep leaving gaps. It's like losing dominoes in between. It doesn't work perfectly if you do keep losing players like this.
Yep. You're right on point about that. I mean, they were losing a lot of players onto us early in the round, but right now, yeah, I think that's exactly what they're talking about then, because this time, no one's speaking. But the attacking KJ has initiated the lockdown. Here we go. This is the round that Salt needs. This is the round that Expolit needs, because if they win this, they are definitely going to be, going into the second half with a really huge advantage when it's Shooter. Oh, no, Shooter's going to get taken down. There you go, Beast with the kill on the Shooter. Down to a 4 with a 5. Retake situation. 45 seconds on the clock. Darky evening things up. Gets a kill on the Beast. Has a resurrection, but cannot resurrect. Oh, I'm sorry. That was actually tricked with the resurrection. Actually resurrect Beast. Down to a 5v4 once again. Changes out available. But so was Hunter Fury. I think should be popped anytime soon. Never mind. It's going to be Beast walking in and getting a kill on the Darky. Down to a 3 with a 5. Where is the Hunter Fury? Why is the Hunter Fury not being used? There it is. Coming in from Salt though. Not from Expolit as I expected. But King. Okay, wait. What's happening?
Well, it does.
What is happening?
Oh, wait. Can he stick it? Yes, he. No, he can't. Oh boy.
What happened?
I'm just as confused as you. I am just as confused as you, and I cannot understand as to why Salt didn't. I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but that was a round that Salt could have taken extremely easily. There weren't any shock darts. There was only 2 killjoy mollies that you could have gotten rid of very easily, and then the Viper's acid to really work around. And well, it just kind of felt like a half-baked round from the side of Salt.
Oh my god, that was weird. But yeah, whatever it is, Expolit. You know what? Shooter just having a casual, range there, just having fun in the range kind of day. But Stranger gets the kill on the shooter there, finally trades him out. Darky gets the kill on the Stranger, evening things out, trading him. And now Jivix with 1 in a 1v3. Can he do it? No, he cannot. Or can he? Because he just took down SSB, but he's really, really low. One shot. That's all he needs, because he just took down Darky. And now in a 1v1. Okay.
He does have his drone to work around with.
And 2 shock darts as well. And look at the... Oh, the mollies. Ah, boy. That's it. The round is done and dusted, if I'm not wrong.
I mean, there is still some time left, but he needs to work around all of this. The alarm bot comes in. King knows exactly where Chivix is going to be. And well, what a good effort coming in from Chivix. But unfortunately, a little too low on HP and a little too much to ask for. With these 3 picks, you just allow shooter to jiggle and hold a single angle and peek you one at a time. Why? That was just a rookie mistake, and we were talking about this yesterday as well. Why will you peek solo when you know for a fact that if you peek with your teammate, you have a much better chance of winning that gunfight out? And that is exactly what should have happened over here. Had Trick and Hats and his teammate KJ peaked at the same time, there is no way that we would have been seeing Shooter survive. And well, there you go. Hats finally with the operator in his hand is going to be getting the better of Shooter finally.
You will not kill my
How did he have the ultimate up so quick? Oh no.
Again.
Has once again. Takes Shooter down. That was just sad. But Stranger gets a kill on the King as well there now. In a 3 versus 5. Darky gets a kill on the Hats, but instantly traded out by Drake in a 2 versus 4 right now. Hunter's Free being used for Soulmate. He has a kill on this Beast. That's about it. He's gonna get taken out by Stranger. Oh no, King. Is that King? I think he took a damage. It took a dink to his head. That's HSP, my bad. Now the Dubon's a felt. He's gonna get taken down by Drake. There you go, the second round. Finally! Something to be happy about for the side of Salt Esports, because it was all looking grim. Team Exploit, they were just walking away. They were having a walk in the park. And right now, looks like Salt Esports. They're raiding the park. Or at least they want to raid the park.
Well, they've gotten the start that they would have wanted. They've got 2 rounds. They've got 2 more to go. If they can even make this a 4-8 split for themselves, I think that they should be able to make this work. Make this work somehow. But it's going to be interesting to see as to what strategy is Exploit going to be changing up. They're still going to be as aggressive as they were, or are they going to be looking to change some things up a little bit? It looks like a fast mid execute as he's just going to be making his way into the smoke and going into that spike. But it looks like Trick kind of understood that, and he's going to make him pay the price. He's going to lose her life. But Beast is able to get that flick. King, Darky and HSB are able to turn around and get 3 kills for each other as Exploit still maintain that man advantage. They're able to recover the spike for themselves. Stranger stuck in no man's land on yellow box. He needs to make that wall so that he can even think about covering a little bit for himself. But the second he falls back, that is going to mean bad news for him. And the second he peeks, King is ready right around the corner. He gets that pick for himself. The wall has gone down. The spike should be recovered any second now. But in fact, the spike just doesn't need to be recovered. Because, well, Sort will not be getting that round for themselves. And 9-2 is going to be the split right now as the last round rolls up.
Oh my god, I mean, Team Exploit. For a second, they actually looked like Salt Esports. They had the upper hand, but then, I mean, Trick did do a really good job, killing Shooter and dropping the spike. But it's not just the Shooter that's doing all the work, it's everyone else. King, HSP, Soulmate, and Darky. All of these players, they are getting those kills. That is why Team Exploit is where they are today and did not drop a map yet in this tournament, in the Skyesports Championship 3.0. And there you go. The ultimate coming in from Viper. But the drone is not gonna spot him. So I don't think it's wise to go B, because you do not want to go into the Viper split there. That is just suicide, to be honest. But let's see if they are smart enough to do that, or do they have something else in head? Because right now they're making the way towards mid here, Dag.
Well, I think that it just kind of goes to, the fact that these teams are in a position where I feel that Exploit is going to be not just having a significant round advantage, but is also going to be having a huge mental advantage, because again, the buys on Salt is not going to be great. They've had to use a Viper ultimate to prevent Exploit from coming to a certain site. They do not have any other ultimate to retake in case Exploit decides to push some other section of the map. Now, as for Shooter, it is going to be really important for him to not give his frag away and kind of
30
wait
seconds
and
left.
play around with where the Viper is going to be expecting these teams to come through. But it looks like Kitchen is going to be where they want to execute. Beast is going to get one with that Stinger in close range. He's going to get taken out. And well, the Viper ultimate this time is going to be used up for Kitchen, which is going to be extremely smart, but it looks like it will not
Spike
cover
down,
enough
B.
of the map.
10 seconds
As Strick
left.
is still able to get a kill for himself. Shooter is able to finish off the player inside the Viper's pit. Soulmate is able to get Trick, and the player on top of the cube
planted.
is going to be the reason that these teams are going to these two players in sight are going to be having a little
enemy
bit
remaining.
of an issue.
Oh damn, what a shot. Once again, 1 versus 2 right now, 40 seconds on the clock, and the spike is taken already. He spots out. Oh no, he did not spot, and his back is turned, and Shooter will get the kill on the Jimix this time. He completely read that wrong. 10 rounds on the board for Team Exploit. Double digits goal line already after the first half. The game is pretty much done and dusted. Yeah, that is huge. 8-round lead, and if this pistol round goes in the favor of Team Exploit, I think it's safe to call it, right, Tank?
I mean, yeah, like we see if we see Salt lose this round, it's basically game over because 11-2, you have a force coming through, you have to force, and at 11-2 you lose that force, or you're even if you win that force by, it doesn't change the outcome of the game too much unless you string together say 7-8 rounds in a row, at which point of time you are going to be really close to getting that comeback. But then you also have to kind of understand this is Exploit's map pick. They've kind of shown us that with that mid push that we saw in the last round, they're just very fast in executes that they're very comfortable on. An icebox certainly seems to be one where they are extremely comfortable and well versed.
There's a reason why they pick Icebox, and they're showing us exactly why and what is the reason. But it looks like Salt Esports, they want to go ahead with the fast execution as well. But Shooter is ready with the Sheriff there, gets a kill on the house, gets the HSB on the other hand, gets a kill on the straight down to a 3 versus 5 with 1 minute 10 seconds on the clock, and the spike is dropped on the side. Trick is in a really tough spot here. That wall blocking away his vision from his teammate, but Shooter gets a kill on the J-Mix, and Darky actually gets spotted and gonna get taken down by Beast. That's about it. Shooter gets a triple headshot with the goddamn Sheriff in his hand, and now it's all on Beast. 78 points of health, 55 seconds on the clock, and the spike is on the side. There's no way he should even be able to get 1 kill, because everyone else they do have a really good crossfire setup, and Beast, I think it's all done and dusted, fella.
Well, that is true. I think that as far as things stand for the side of Salt, they're just going to use this time to kind of figure out as to what went wrong for them.
Got one.
on
30
this map
seconds
of
left.
Icebox. There is no real reason for Beast to try and clutch this out because, well, he's not going to be able to do that. The spikes all the way inside side. All 4 players know exactly where he is. Just give your team the time to talk about what went wrong in this game. Maybe this is the time that will let them understand that, all right, the next map coming up is going to be something that we definitely want to take. So Split is going to be the map after this, but 2-11 is going to be the score right now, and well, I really don't know what else to say.
Look at the buy coming in. Salt Esports.
I mean, yeah, there is almost nothing that they're going to be leaving on the table. And as for the side of Exploit, well, a phantom and a half shield is what Shooter is going to be going in for. And well, the weapon advantage is pretty severe, but they also need to understand that, well, you can make mistakes at any point of time. And why would he push through a molly? Because Soulmate and King are going to be getting 2 kills, but Jivix and Stranger are
Wait,
able
what?
to pull 2 back. And well, it looks like Darky and Shooter are there to finish things off. Match point for the side of Team Exploit. And well, for Salt, this is definitely not the situation that they would have imagined themselves to be in.
Oh my god, that round was pretty quick again. Not really sure what happened to us at mid area, but a lot of damage was dealt. That's all I'm gonna say. Once again, the economy is broke on the side of Salt Esports, but they kind of have to invest whatever they got into this final round because it's potentially the final round of the map here. The map pick off the Exploit, and rightfully so. They are being dominant here. 12-2. Last game, at least on the first half, Salt Esports, they put up 6 rounds on the board. But here, right from the get-go, Exploit, dominant gameplay coming in. Look at that mid push. I mean, did we not talk about this here, Dang? About the mid pushes that Team Exploit does on the map of Icebox here?
Yep, that's definitely true. And well, spray down comes in, but Jivix is not going to be connecting. Darky gets the better of him, but he does not have a heal for himself just yet. Beast with a headshot is going to be getting one more, and a single bullet onto Darky is going to be spelling the end of him, but the head is going to get spotted. And when the dash comes through, Shooter is going to be getting that kill. 9 bullets in the magazine. The spike is going to be going down. The R-Prop comes through and spots one. The jet dash, the blade storms come out. Will he connect? No, he will not. Soulmate will be getting that kill. And Icebox is going to come to an end. And 13-2. 13-6, 13-2.
Defenders
and
win.
On our way to a possible last map for the side of Team Exploit.
Oh my god. Team Exploit. Dominant. That's all I'm going to say. Absolutely dominant on the map of Icebox. Ascent, yeah, they were good. The first half it was pretty decent, but the second half they were dominant. But on the map of Icebox, right from the get-go, not giving any space for Salt, not letting them breathe whatsoever, not giving them space to think. They were just hitting them with so many things. Salt, they had salt in their own eyes this time because they did not see this one coming. And right now, one more map, and Team Exploit will be your Pakistan and Afghanistan regional champions.
Well, that is true, and well, at least for Team Exploit, this is going to be a great run, and well, they're proving that to be the case right now. They're just going in aggressively. They're not scared of anything that is happening. I really don't know what else to say. As for the side of Salt, I guess they're just not prepped enough. They just did not take the threat of Team Exploit seriously, and well, they're paying the price for that because, well, as you can see in this match replay, the kill feed was majoritarily always dominated by the side of Team Exploit. And now, whether that was because of the map or was it because of strategies or whatever be the case, it just feels that, well, there was a lot more that this team could have done to prevent Exploit getting such a simple win on the map of Icebox.
One enemy remaining.
Yep, I mean, yeah, I feel the same way as well. Salt maybe did not do their homework because this is not the first time you're facing Exploit, right? You faced them multiple times in recent times, so we all expected a closer game. But you know, even though you study Exploit, they always have something that they haven't showed us yet. Something in their bag, something in their miracle bag, and they're pulling it out one by one. And that's exactly why they're on top. And I cannot wait to see them in the South Asian playoffs go head to head with teams like, VLT, Enigma, and even especially New Order, because New Order did not drop a map yet, and Exploit being the team that did not drop a map yet in the Pakistan Afghanistan region. I want to see both these teams collide and see who is the better one among these two.
Well, as far as things go, I'm really excited about seeing, the real rivalry, which is going to be India versus Pakistan. But again, not going to be taking any sides just yet, nor will I be taking sides later on. But we know that it's going to be a really interesting and a very hotly contested game when it does eventually happen in the South Asian playoffs. But right now, it is going to be about these two teams, Exploit as well as Salt. And well, we are going to be having to understand what can be done from the side of Salt for, for the side of, or rather for the map of Split, because that is going to be the map that is coming up. And well, from what we've just seen, it doesn't matter if the map is attacker or defender sided. Exploit just finds a way to exploit the mistakes that the other team makes and make sure that the map is whatever side they're playing.
It is true. I mean, Team Exploit, they were just dominant. And you're right. They did try to exploit the way that Salt Esports played. They were reading them perfectly. They had three players on A side. They know that. They don't care. They get the entry, and also Salt Esports not really sure why they were getting those, why they were taking those unnecessary peaks at the early in the round. You know, once, twice, I understand, but every single goddamn round, you keep doing that, and your man goes down. That is something to worry about. I mean, the scoreboard, right? The scoreboard, Dank, it speaks for itself. If you take a look at the scoreboard here.
Well, yes, we are going to be having a look at the scoreboard that we have right in front of us right now, but it's also going to be coming back down to just it breaks down the sad story that we had for Salt on Icebox, and there is no other way to put this because, well, 13-2, I don't know how to sugarcoat it, but Salt could have done so much better.
Yep, they could have, but unfortunately, it just feels bad, man. I mean, look at the scoreboard. Shooter 22 to 10, 2.2 KD, 5 first bloods. He was dominant. 5 first bloods in 15 rounds. That is what you need. King 14 to 10, 1.4 KD, 2 first bloods. Still made 13 to 8, 1 first blood. Trick sits on 11, Beast sits on 10. That's about it. Those are the best players for the team of Salt. Both Sentinels, once again, keep in head, man. HSB, 11 kills. Jivik sits on 9. Darky sits on 10. And Stranger and Huts, they sit on 7. I was actually praising Haz in the way that he plays on the map of Icebox. Unfortunately, turns out this is not his day at all. You know, you never expect a Jet to be at the bottom of the scoreboard here. Dang. Really unfortunate to see him in that position. But yeah, Shooter completely dominant and deft the opponent Jet as much as he can.
I mean, do we really need to say that there was a difference between both the Jets? Because one's on top of the scoreboard and the other one's on the bottom. Now, I'm not trying to take it out on hats over here, but well, it is what it is. The positions that these players take up on the scoreboard are the positions, well, that they are given. ACS is going to be the deciding factor, and if your ACS is lesser than the other person, you are below him. And perhaps, unfortunately for him, it was just not his day on Jet. Maybe on a different day we see him pop off. Maybe on a different day we see him really, maybe on a different day it's Shooter who's going to be at the bottom and Hat sitting on top. But for today, for this map, on the map of Icebox, it's going to be Shooter on top, followed by King, then followed by Soulmate. Finally, a player from Salt makes his way in. Trick and Beast with 11 and 10 kills. HSB from Exploit, Jivix, Darky, Stranger, and finally Hats to round up the scoreboard.
Yep, not something what I was expecting from the side of Salt Esports. But yeah, this is what you get when you go head to head against Team Exploit on their map pick. I mean, Ascent was a map pick of Salt Esports, and Exploit exploited them on their own map. I mean, imagine what they are gonna do on the map of Icebox. Boom, here you go, 13-2. 2 rounds, that's it. And I think those 2 rounds, they were a bit lucky as well. Salt, Team Exploit, they were a bit cocky. They did go up front and got those over peaks, and then they went down. But at the same time, you have to give it to Salt Esports as well. They did not give up at all until the final round. They were trying their best, but unfortunately, it's not good enough. You need to work a bit more. And now, moving on to the map of Split, the map pick of Salt Esports once again, and Exploit, they'll be on the defensive half. Moving to Split, what do you think, Tank? Map drop, or is it going to be a flawless run for the side of Team Exploit?
Well, I want to see a flawless come in from Exploit once again because the way that they have been going, they've constantly reduced the number of rounds that the other team's gotten 13-6, 13-2, 13-1, 13-0. I'm not sure, but if I really just had to give, if I had to give a prediction, now, one thing's for certain, it's not that I'm counting Salt out. I'm not saying that, oh, you know what, Salt is going to be absolutely walked through from the side of Exploit and Exploit's just the better team. No, that's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is, considering Exploit has had this good of a run, considering they've not dropped a single map throughout the competition, and in the grand finals they're having such a good start, I just want them to end it the way that they have started it off. Yes, everyone loves a good comeback story, but right now it just kind of feels that Exploit kind of deserves it. Maybe Salt wants to hide some strategies. Maybe Salt wants to come back later in the South Asian playoffs and take
Yeah.
that revenge on Exploit. But right now, let that fairy tale just end. Let that fairy tale just continue the path that it has taken and just finish it off.
Yep, and just a quick heads up to anyone wondering, both these teams, both Exploit and Salt Esports, have already qualified to the South Asian playoffs. And the team that will be entering the wildcard playoffs from the Pakistan and Afghanistan region is the team of Fear Legends. And even that team is from Pakistan. So I believe three teams, all these three teams are from Pakistan. So the scene, the community, and the Valorant scene is growing, right, Dang? I mean, a year ago, not a lot of people. I mean, yeah, the game did come out a year ago, but maybe like 8 9 months ago, a lot of players they were still sticking to their old titles. They were not. They were hesitant to switch to Valorant. But when that switch happened, everything just went haywire. I mean, everyone loved the game. There are so many ways and so many plays that you can do in the game of Valorant that is just endless. It's just one of those things that you cannot expect. I mean, every game it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same. That's for sure. I mean, yeah, the weapons, the maps, the same, but the plays they will never be the same. You will not see two games looking exactly the same way that the previous one played out.
Well, I agree. I think that it's also one thing that I would love to see, especially on the map of Split, is is Exploit that good that they can change the defender sidedness of Split to an attacker sidedness? Because we've seen some teams do this. We have seen teams like C9 use that breach to extreme advantage. Though, yes, they start off on defense, they take those rounds very easily. Well, they are still able to lock the game out in terms of just the agent select that goes through. So, a lot of teams can win or lose a map simply based on the agent select. So, maybe a breach coming through could be important and could be interesting. So, the Sova is probably not going to be something that we see too much. The Cypher is definitely going to be on point. Killjoy is extremely strong on this map as well. And well, we will also have to make sure that there is going to be a Sage because, well, mid wall, it's like bread and butter for every single player trying to hold mid on split.
Yeah, you're right about that. And I think, on the map of Split, if you want to be a good defender, you have someone like a controller, maybe along with a duelist, or a controller along with Sage, holding off to that mid angle, the wall, and then smoke it off instantly to help your team get that advantage towards that mid because you do not want to give away mid. And once again, a quick look at the V2 and the maps that were about that we will play. So Haven was banned by Exploit. Keep in mind, um, Breeze was not banned this time. Salt picked Essent, and they start in the second half. Team Exploit comes out on top with 13-6, and then Exploit picked Icebox, and they were dominant. Salt got absolutely destroyed there. I mean, 13-2. There's no way to put it other than this. They got destroyed. And now moving on to the map of Split. Salt Esports pick this map and Team Exploit. They'll be on the defending half. Potentially the final map of the series because, Team Exploit, they're already up 2-0. And if we do not, I mean, if Team Exploit does not win Split and Salt Esports wins it, then we'll be moving on to the map pick of Exploit, which is my personal favorite. And if that goes in the favor of Salt Esports as well, then I think we'll be going on to the map that everyone is looking forward to, including you and me, Dank, the map of Breeze, the
Yep.
Deciders map. I mean, it looks grim. I don't think it's gonna go um, till the Deciders map. By the way, that by the looks of Team Exploit, but if it does, it's gonna be one hell of a match.
That is definitely true. I think that one of the biggest reasons that I want to see Breeze is that we've seen Breeze being played out on the international land. We've yet to see Breeze properly be played between these teams. At the level that we are seeing these teams play at. So there are going to be things that will be different, and those are the things that really interest me. Maybe those are things that we can look to use in our own competitive games when we do go ahead and play those But irrespective of all of that, it is going to be an extremely interesting map of Split. Are we going to be seeing an Astra, or will we see a Viper? We've seen Viper be really, really useful on this map as well, especially for pushing A site, holding off that Rafters peak with the Poison Orb lineup for a one-way on ramps. It just kind of feels that we might just see a Viper come into play here as well.
Yep, maybe. I mean, we had a lot of players picking Viper on the map of Split this time around, but not something I'm a really big fan of because, having those Astra smokes or maybe Omen, even Brim on the map of Split is important. You get to smoke all around the map. While Viper, once you commit down that wall, there's no way you can pick it back up. So, I mean, you do have that smoke cloud, but that's about it. So, yeah, Viper's ultimate is a huge positive, though, completely blocks out the entire site, but that's about it. You will not be having that controller thing. But what if you go with a dual controller? Now that is something to look forward to. You don't need an initiator on Split. Not, I mean, you can skip. So instead of having a Sova or a Sky, why not go with another controller? Brim, Omen, Astra, and then a Viper. That is gonna be interesting because there's a lot of lineups for the map for Viper with Snakebite and the smoke cloud, smoking that heaven, smoking that screens, and then using the Snakebite to stop the diffuse or at least clear out angles and corners. That is something up for grabs, and maybe Team Exploit will be the one opting for that because we did see dual initiators for them from them and also from Salt Esports. But I think Team Exploit might as well go with the dual controller on the map split.
Well, that is certainly possible. A dual controller, maybe you were talking about not having an initiator. What if you go for a dual initiator? Play to your duelist. Do not play a sentinel.
Mm.
Do not play a sentinel, or play one duelist, one sentinel, one controller, and two initiators. That is also something that teams have played with and kind of has worked a lot for them as well. Now, one of the agents that I would really, really be interested on seeing on the map of Split is going to be Raze. We have seen Raze have an impact on both sides. We've seen Raze have an impact on mid. We've seen Raze have an impact in basically any single position that you can play on the map of Split because, well, she really thrives when you have small corners, where you have small cubbies, where you have long but thin hallways to push in towards objectives. For example, pushing in from mid, drop your boombot or your nade for ropes and then push into satchel into heaven. Or become Bunny from F4Q. Start off at sewer and then just surprise the player in heaven with two satchels and a judge to this face. So with Raze, you have that outplay potential. And well, right as we speak about it, the beautiful map of Split is going to be, well, loading up. So we're going to be having a small while that we can talk about the agent select coming in from these teams, and well, that will also decide quite a bit as to what we are going to be seeing, what kind of a play style will we be seeing from these two teams going forward. But Split, again, one of the most defend-decided maps. The map is situated in Japan, so it is going to be having that vibe to it, if you might call it the Tokyo vibe that we have seen in a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies. So this is going to be interesting as to what we can expect from both of these teams. Now there you go, we have the lineups. So we have the Raze as expected. We do have two sentinels, one controller and one initiator as Edge predicted, to be fair. And well, it does seem to be a mirror lineup once again, except the fact that the Sky has been changed out for the Breach on Stranger and HSB once again. So King versus Strick, Shooter versus Jivik, Soulmate versus Beast, Darky versus Hats, and HSB versus Stranger. These are going to be the two main differences that both of these squads have. Is going to be the fact that, well, we've seen King perform really well on the Sova. We've seen HSB perform really well on the Sova. It's going to be that both of these teams will not be looking to pick up that Sova, and instead of that, they've dropped that Jet, they've picked up that Raze, And well, Shooter, he had an amazing time on the Jet. Will he be doing so similarly on the Raze is going to be the real question.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the agent lineups there. Understandable. HSB has picked up the breach. Darky, Astro, Soulmate back on the KJ. Shooter this time, however, has not opted to go with Jet, but rather than Raze, as you said. F4Q, maybe. Bunny inspired him, but King on the Sage, Jivix, Raze, Hats, Astra, Beast, KJ, Trick, Sage, Stranger, Sky. Potentially the final map of the regional qualifiers here in the Pakistan and Afghanistan region. Team Exploit and Salt Esports. Team Exploit in the lead 2-0. But here we go, the pistol round of the map number 3. Let's see if Salt has something in store for us this game.
Well, that is going to be something that we'll just have to wait and watch whether it does happen in the same, if it does happen in a similar way or not. But it looks like the flashes are going to be extremely useful, and Beast, he's made his way in. CT has been cut off. Sage is going to be peeking. She's going to get dinged, gets taken out. Beast is low on HP, but Hats is there to finish the frag off for his teammate, and that will give him some kind of an advantage that is, that is going to be, well, rather no advantage for Team Exploit, because it's going to be a 2v2. The Astral Gravity Pull is going to be coming in. Jivix is extremely low on HP, so for Salt, this can be a bad situation. Darky gets one. Stranger is going to be vulnerable, but he does get that kill. But Shooter, he's playing the smart. He knows he doesn't have to push until the plant goes down. And as for Stranger, well, he's just going to have to use the flash. He does get some info that the player is going to be towards main. Will he peek? Yes, he does. He lands one shot. Will he land the second one? No, it looks like both these players are going to be missing a lot of their shots. But Stranger, he has the advantage in terms of HP. The headshot is going to get needed, and Shooter lands it. 4 HP on him, and he can get that kill. First round on board for Team Exploit.
That was a really good gameplay coming in from Exploit. It was a pretty close round, but yeah, at the end, Salt Esports, they did go down once again, but this time, it was more than one player going down for the Exploit. So changes were made, changes did happen. So maybe the end result will change as well. Maybe Salt will be the one winning this map, but right now, Exploit on the defensive half. Okay, first round on the board. Let's see how it goes.
Well, there's going to be interesting shooters. Shooter has again picked up that Phantom for himself. It just looks like he does not want to play that Spectre at all. He's either playing that Judge, or he is playing that, or he is playing that Phantom for himself in that bonus round. As for the rest of his team, well, they're going to be compensating with only a Ghost on Darky. He's saving up a little bit. Maybe they need that operator later on. But Kings, he's going to get a double for himself for his troubles. But Jivix is going to be able to land that nade. He gets that kill. And his teammates might be able to recover a Spectre, but it looks like Shooter is not going to let them do that. And well, he gets one more for himself. Stranger is going to be one more.
Remaining.
Darky
Spike
with the
down
Ghost
mid.
is going to get a kill. 10 bullets in the magazine. The flash comes out. Will he connect is going to be the real question over here. But it looks like that he's going to miss a lot of his shots, and the Spectre at that range is going to be connecting for the 125 HP that was left on Shooter.
That Phantom is dropped again. I
30
mean,
seconds
yeah,
left.
it is retrieved right now, but that Phantom being dropped is kind of sad, sad to look at. Right now, Salt Esports, Stranger the only one alive. The Spike is nowhere to be found. It's going to be Darky with the kill on the Stranger. A 2-0. Team Exploit looking strong right now, but I think a bit of overpeak coming in from everyone there, even from Sage, getting a couple of kills. So he should have just fell back. Shooter and King being a little overconfident, but it's okay. That confidence may turn out to be necessary in the upcoming rounds, because right now it's going to be a full buy coming in from Salt Esports. And if Exploit get this bonus round, wait, why is King only sticking? Okay, 2 Ghosts. That's what they're going to be playing and bringing into the bonus round here, Dan.
Well, playing the bonus is going to be really interesting because, well, they are on the defender side, and they should be looking, in fact, to maximize as many rounds as they can on this side. But it looks like they just don't care. It doesn't fear them too much, and well, that is kind of surprising, but also kind of understandable because they have had such a great run on the first 2 maps. And well, as the concussion comes out, it's going to be a grenade that takes Stranger's health back down quite a few points. It looks like the flash is going to be coming in. They might spot one player, but Shooter and King just Ghost and Phantom together. What? You were up against Vandals and Phantoms and you just had a Ghost in your hand and you were still able to come out on top. That just speaks dividends about what you did as a team over there.
And look at the way that they're lurking right now. Jivix, he predicts it, gets the kill onto HSB. Oh, Hats actually gets the kill onto King as well. Oh, Jivix making it work. Oh, from a 2 versus 5 down to a 2v2. All the Jivix is down to 32 points of health. Actually, it's quite low as well. One shot and they might go down. That boom bot will instantly be taken down. Sassel coming into play, is it? Yep, there it is. Raze, he's ready! Shooter! With a really beautiful spray transfer there from the right to the left. Pretty easy. I mean, he made it somehow look easy. Trust me, it's not as easy as it looks. And that's a bonus round going in the favor of Expolit. Salt once again being dominated right from the get-go. I mean, yeah, first 2 rounds, understandable. He was a pistol in an eco. But the buy round against players with 2 ghosts, that is unacceptable. Yep. And right now, Salt, they need to step up or else they're gonna be stepping down.
I mean, just looking at the buys that are there from these players, and well, those buys are no longer going to be used because well, there's 2 quick kills. So it looks like Beast is out like a man on a mission. He gets one, and Trick is just going to go into the right swing, but Soulmate is there to make sure that he can refrag. And well, it's all down to Trick. He gets that Phantom up, but he doesn't have a shield. And well, King is going to be getting that kill and finishing the round off 4-0 in the favor of Team Expolit. And I mean, I really don't know what to say. They are running away with this, and I don't even know that running could be the best thing. I don't know. They're flying away with it. They are. What are they doing?
They are stealing the win away. They are, just walking away with the. They are ready to walk away with the $2,000 prize pool and also the bragging rights of calling themselves the regional champions of Pakistan and Afghanistan region. But Salt, let's see. I mean, they're not gonna make it easy for the side of Team Expolit. But right now, it is actually easy. But look at the players from Team Expolit. 4 towards B. Okay. But Salt, they're not reading this whatsoever. I mean, if they would have rushed into the side, that was free side for them. Oh, that's actually played. Why are they doing this? Why do they want the heaven control? I don't understand this. The side completely open, fellas. Just run into the side. Because if you go head-to-head against Team Expolit players, they will take you down. And they're still worried about side. And now they get the information that it's completely clear and the spike is going to be planted. 3 ultimates available though. Showstopper, Resurrection, and Cosmic Divide. Showstopper is available on the side of Salties as well, but that's about it. Spike has been planted. 5v5 retake. 40 seconds on the clock. Dang, take it away.
Well, it's going to be Jivix who gets one, but Shooter is going to be getting one back as the Astro Divide goes through. Soulmate is going to get one more on the Salt's trick, which means that the Sage is no longer going to be available. Now she is 1 point away from her ultimate, but Beast is just going to become a beast. And well, he's going to get 3 quick kills for the troubles that Expolit put up. But King, well, he's going to be in a bad position. He's going to play for those. Well, he's going to have to play for those trades. If he gets one more, the heal can be popped, but no, Beast is just going to be there to make sure that the first round that Salt needed is going to be on board for them. And well, unfortunate for Expolit that had that heal been popped from the side of the Sage, maybe, just maybe, King might have been able to get
1 enemy remaining.
On himself.
Oh my god, that round, it's the Beast. I mean, it was all Beast, right? If Beast wouldn't have gotten that 3 quick kills, the round was done and dusted there. Expolit were actually on the verge of winning, but then Beast had other plans in mind. So, first round, the both of Alt Esports, A worked out in their favor, and they're going to be sticking to that once again. But Team Expolit once again doing the same. Players towards that Beast side, and Sage is quick with the rotations this time. But Soulmate this time goes down early to Trick. 5 ultimates available. Seekers, one of them is being used. Showstopper, okay, that's the second ultimate being popped right now online. Rocket Fuse. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2 seconds. And he's actually just gonna use it right now. Spike planted, 45 seconds on the clock, and that's the third ultimate being used? How many ultimates do they want to invest into this particular round? Not really sure here, Dan.
Salt is really desperate. He knows that there's a player right around the corner, but Hats is being able to land that shot. One player is going to get detained, and that will force them to rush in. Darky gets that kill onto Jivix. They're going to be preventing Shooter from getting taken out, but the satchels are available on him. Are we going to be seeing the play come out? It looks like yes, we will, and it looks like
Last player standing.
the aftershock is what gets him, but Salt is still able to finish the rounds off. And I mean, that was kind of funny. The fact that he was trying to spray down Shooter, but at the same time taking damage from the aftershock, it just kind of cracked me up a little bit.
That was a really good round coming in from Salt Esports. Yeah, they did not want to take any chances, so they wanted to secure the round, and they were ready to use 5 ultimates if needed. They did use 3, and they got the second one on the board, and now they only have 2 more ultimates: Astral, Cosmic Divide, and Sage's Resurrection. But Team Exploit is an eco round for them, so this should be a freebie for Salt Esports. They should have a comfortable win in this round.
But right as you were speaking about that, it looks like they're going to be having a team flash instead, and that gives King some time to run away. But Darky is just able to land that shot.
You
His
will
team is
not
also
kill
going to
my
be getting one.
ally.
Jivix will be revived back up to his feet. But as for the side of Exploit, they've kind of already done the damage. They've forced an ultimate to be used, the one of the most expensive ultimates in the game, which is going to be your Resurrection. And well, that is also going to mean that Shooter is going to be having a bad round once that wall breaks. Looks like Jivix does not want to take that risk. He's just going to fall off and make sure that his team is right around him. Now as for Exploit, well, they do not have a heal for Shooter, but they do need to make sure that they at least pick up one kill and kind of prevent the players of Salt into using another ultimate. That would be a very, very good thing, but it looks like HSB is able to pick up another frag, and I'd say that is a very good eco round, because well, you've picked up 2 kills for yourself, you've removed a shield and an ultimate from the side of Salt Esports as well.
Salt Esports, yeah, the damage was dealt from Team Exploit. Look at the economy. I mean, it's still okay. You know, Trick still has 5,300 in the bag, 2,100 on Beast, 22 on Jivix. Hats sitting on 1,000. Stranger though, 800. So the economy damage has been dealt, but at the same time, Exploit, their economy is not looking good either. So once again, Salt Esports, I mean, it's the Sentinels. Not really sure what's up with them. The Sentinels are the one that's popping off for the teams here in the Skyesports Championship 3.0. All the Sentinels are actually better performing than the outperform. I wouldn't say outperforming, but better performance, better entries than the Sentinels. Sorry, than the duelist here we have.
Yep, that is definitely looking to be true, but still, there is a lot of time for this map to turn around and favor the side of Salt, because well, if it favors Exploit, it's game over. It's going to be a GG coming in from the side of Exploit. But if Salt is able to turn this around, we might just see a different story, as Shooter is going to be losing his life. So again, Team Exploit losing bodies early, as this time it's going to be King who is going to be going in for that Resurrection. Very smart play coming through, but Shooter is going to be losing his life. Jivix gets one more, and Hats is going to be pulling one more onto himself. And well, it looks like Salt is slowly getting the better of Team Exploit.
30
and well, the
seconds
2
left.
remaining players, which is going to be Soulmate as well as Darky,
Spike down
have their
A.
work cut out for them.
Last player standing.
Oh boy, Salt. They're making it work. It's all tournament. Now they're 1 versus 3 right now. And he actually gets one down to a 1v2. Make that a 1v1. He can actually pop it. 5 bullets. Actually reloads it. Tournament will not spot him, but Haz does not want to take the risk. Soulmate does not have the weapon in his hand. Oh no. I actually thought it was actually going to get the kill on the Haz, but yeah, that was a really good round coming in from Sol once again. But a really good try from Soulmate as well. Down to a 4-4 scorelines all tied up. Once again here. Actually, you know, the economy is not looking good on Exploit, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that Salt Esports is going to be on the lead. For the first time? Or, actually not the first time. They did have a 2-round lead in the map person. But yeah, for the first time in a really long time, Salt Esports, they might be having the 5th round and a round lead here
Well, that is definitely true. We could be seeing a change in the momentum as, again, Team Exploit just being too aggressive. And I think Salt has kind of understood that if we just hold this back, if we just hold, you know, if we just play it a little safer, we might just be able to hold against this onslaught. And well, that is exactly what is happening. They're holding all the way inside spawn, and Hats gets a kill for, Hats is going to be getting a kill for himself. And well, it just kind of feels that Team Salt is finally understanding what to do against Exploit.
Team Exploit, they need to step up right now because they are on the back foot apparently this time around. Salt Esports, they're having a good time here on the map. Split 4-4, a man advantage in the 9th round here. 40 seconds on the clock and the side is completely open. I mean, not completely open, but should be pretty easy to take in. There you go, Beach with one. And the Darky lands one shot, but that's about it. Shooter gets a kill on the hat. But instantly taken down by Trick. Beast with the final blow on the Darky. 5th round on the board. 5th round on the board. And a round lead. After a really long time, Salt Esports, they must be feeling really strong. And Exploit might be, getting their first map loss here.
Well, this
Might
could
be on the way at least.
I mean, it definitely could be possible unless Exploit fixes their ways. They might just be headed towards a first map loss for them. Maybe Split is something that they haven't played that much either, because suddenly Salt seems to be very, very dominating. But before that, but there you go, Shooter's just making sure that he gets the better of the player that was walking up towards sewers from that box. And well, Salt finally are going to be giving their first blood instead of taking it in such a long time.
Oh no, not something they're gonna be happy about. But look at the ultimates available on the side of Team Exploit right now. Full ultimates, everything except the resurrection is available. So the utilities coming in from Race has been used. A 4v5, 1 minute on the clock, and look at Salt's position. Wait a minute, how did they get the control of? Astra is so confident. He goes into Astral mode in the open. And now he goes back to safety to do it. I think KJ was screaming at him, what the hell are you doing? You're out in the open with the Astral form. Come on, man. You can do better than this. There you go. Heaven control is being taken. Really, really smart move coming in from Salt Esports here.
Well, yes, that is true. And I think that so far so good for the side of Exploit, or rather make that for the side of Salt, because well, in a 4v4 the advantage is always on the attacker side. They have complete side control, but the defender utility is going to get placed. Soulmate will get taken out as King is able to get the refrag, but he needs to make sure that he lands another shot. The spike is out in the open. They do not have the time to waste and try to go in for this peak. And as the second time they're going to be going in for that plant, it's going to be smoked off from Heaven. So at least the spike goes down. The Team Exploit is now going to have to deal with that lockdown and then with the
Last
spike
player
timer
standing.
itself.
Oh no. I think this round is pretty much done and dusted. The lockdown, and the player has not been detained, but King, he's in a really bad position right now. He does have the heal available, but 3 players to fight in a 1v3 right now. He cannot be called 3 1 by 1. He has to go in with the double pick again. What King? Okay.
Oh boy.
Let me tell you, he made it look simple, but it's so hard. I mean, that was a perfect crossfire. But King, he read it perfectly. He pre-fired them. I mean, he had the aim set perfectly. Give me that replay. I really want to see. There you go. He knew it. 1, 2. He was ready for the third one as well. He didn't even look towards that elbow area, towards the side. He was like, yep, I know you're pushing me from that side. Come out, and boom, diffuses it as well. Absolutely insane. And that's exactly why they're the best team in Pakistan as of now, dang.
That was a clutch and a half, and this is exactly the kind of clutch that changes the momentum. Maybe this is exactly what Exploit needed to get that, as you can say, spark back up in them. Be like, all right, you know what? We have lost 5 rounds in a row, but it's time to change the tide. It's time to turn the tide, and let's make sure that we get some kind of an advantage for ourselves once again. Now, as for the Astral Stars that are going to get placed, it does seem that we're going to be having a mixture of a mid or an A-sided push. No one's going towards B main, which could, in theory, allow Darky to kind of just walk up through main, because I don't see any Killjoy utility holding that flank. Neither do I see Killjoy anywhere close to B.
Yeah, so Darky might have a really good chance here to push towards that mid and get a triple kill. But here's the thing. They do not want to do that, right? They do not want to throw away a round, even give away a single kill, at least for free. A trade may be decent, but they do not want to give away the kill. Salt Esports, they only have the Astral Divide available. Team Exploit, 3 ultimates. Astra, Breach, and Sage. So I'm pretty sure that's where the entire round is going to be depending on at least one of the ults coming out from Team Exploit. But King with the positioning gets one. His counterpart gets two, actually. Since it goes down as well. Twix, on the other hand, takes down Shooter, the main player. The star player for the side of Exploit goes down. HSB, Aftershocks, Hat. Well, Hat takes down Soulmate. All down to Jivix now. In a 1 versus 3, he can actually do this, with the Soul Stopper available and the entire utility as well. What do you think, Tank?
Well, I think that with all the utility that he does have, it's not going to be an impossible feat to be able to do it. But it looks like he's just going to give the position away that he was holding with the barrel of his weapon, and that is all that HSB needs to finish that kill off. And as we head over to the last round before the split, I think we're in for a treat, because we are either going to be seeing a 6-6 and have one of the most exciting attacking halves of split that we're going to be casting for a long time now, or we are going to be seeing Salt snatch a map from the hands of Exploit.
That would be interesting if Salt actually comes out on top. But right now, the way that Exploit is back in the game, they have their heads back in the game. It's going to be a hard A push coming in. All the ultimates are going to be used from Salt Esports. Trust me on that. The Showstopper, the Astral Divide, and the Seekers being used first. And now I believe the Astral Divide has to come into play. Or is it? Actually, the Astral Divide comes into play, but it's not from Salt Esports. It's from Exploit. Breeze uses the ultimate as well. HSB gets a kill on the Jivix down. A man down. A resurrection available. Can he even come into the fight? Oh my god!
Down A.
Shooter and King, perfect team play, teamwork coming into play. It's all down to Astra in a 1 versus 5. There's no way he should even be able to get... What?
Well, that's a flawless, and the Sage can't even use her ultimate because, well, no one's died from her team. Yeah, you were saying something.
I mean, Hats should have landed that kill on the Shooter. He didn't even look at Hats. He was just sashing away, but then Hats missed and Shooter turns around and lands the headshot? I mean, someone check his PC for something. I don't know, aimbot.
I mean, it's happened a lot with me as well, but I used to just chalk it up to me being bad. But I mean, can we really call any one of these players bad because they're playing at this level?
Oh, they're definitely not bad. That's for sure. I mean,
that's exactly. And Hats is really feeling himself because he's at the top of the scoreboard for his team as well.
Yeah, maybe he was just stalking or got distracted. I mean, in the pressure, in the heat of the moment, things happen. But now, potentially the final pistol round. Let's see who gets this. Shooter. What the hell was that from Hats? He was just standing there, and that priority pull was on point. First initial pick once again, going into the favor of Team Exploit. A 4 versus 5 retake situation here. 45 seconds on the clock, dang. Here we go.
Well, this is going to be really, really interesting and exciting to see as to what is going to be happening, as Jivix is going to be landing that shot on the Shooter. That is going to be an interesting and an important kill, but Salt is going to get 2. Darky is going to get Beast back off. Trick is going to be going in for that heal. He picks up a classic, but 4 HP, 6 HP, 0 HP. King lands that shot. The classic comes out, and Darky finishes it off with the final frag. There you go. The pistol round that was so, that was so much desired from the side of Salt is in fact going to break their heart and head over to Exploit's side.
I should probably place some stars in the Astral
Oh
Play.
my god. Team Exploit. They're back in the game for sure, and they're back at it. Only 5 more rounds, and they're gonna be walking away as the champions of the Pakistan and Afghanistan regional qualifiers, and also walking away with 2,000 US dollars. That's pretty huge, dang. That is huge.
Well, yes, that is indeed huge. And as the bonus round comes through, it seems that Shooter is going to be having a little bit of a problem with the sky flashes, but he's going to be satching his way inside. He's going to be flashed once again, but there are 3 players all around. Killer King gets 2. Stranger is going to pull one back up. With the ghost, HSB with 1 more and 2 more to finish off the round. Well, I'd say that was a pretty decent eco, but looking at the scoreline, I really don't feel that he should have ecoed that round, my friend Salt.
Well, they did want to have a full buy into that third round, the bonus against Team Exploit, right? And now Exploit, they're going to be sticking to that bonus, while Salt Esports, they have a full buy. And if they get this round, we're looking at a 6-9. And then things might go anywhere. You know, you never know how it turns out. But right now, it's a 4-round league on the side of Team Exploit. Look at the split coming in from all the players. It's a pretty basic split, 3-2. But I think the spike is gonna make its way towards A, while Shooter completely fakes it towards B, and it's actually working. Never mind, just as I say that, they make noise towards A. Oh, hats with the first one, hats with the second one, to the smoke on the Darky. It's counterpart down to a 3 versus 5 here, gang.
Well, this is suddenly changed. They suddenly changed from what we were expecting. We were expecting a simple push in towards A for Exploit, but it looks like things went south for them. Now, as for HSB, he's going to be towards ropes. This boombot is definitely going to clear that position out, because the second it drops down, it is going to be, or rather, well, he just kind of escapes it. That was smart, but it looks like once he decides to retake this position, he's going to be in a bad spot. The nade goes out. Jivix is going to spot the player coming through. The concuss goes out. The blind is going to get used as well, and HSB has to peel off.
30
But this is
seconds
going to be the bonus, and Shooter used that opportunity, pushes in, he gets that kill for himself. Jivix is going to get taken out. They know that there's one player towards CT and one on the backstab. The Killjoy turret gets taken out. Beast is going to be in a tricky situation now. Drake is able to get 1, get 2, but it looks like Stranger still holding in on rafters, and he will finish that off. And well, that is going to be finally a round in the second half for Salt Esports.
Ooh, Salt Esports finally something in the bag for them. You know, the second round. They much they deserved this one, because they played it really smart. They were not over peaking, no unnecessary peaks, but at the same time, it was a bonus round coming in from Team Exploit. And yeah, Shooter needs to be with the team, otherwise, it's gonna be really hard, because he's the only duelist, and especially with the Sassel plays, he should be the one entering, and not Sage or KZ or even Astra at that matter.
Well, that is definitely going to be something that is true, but again, you can't always have a perfect situation for yourself. As for Trick, he's going to spot HSB, gets the better of him. There is no resurrection on either one of these Sages, so King or his teammate, or rather his counter, are not going to be able to get HSB back up to his feet.
You're right. Man advantage, early round man advantage of Salt Esports, but now Team Exploit initiating that attacker skill zone. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's slow coming into play. Satchel being used. What is happening? Oh, Beast almost took down Shooter there, but it's gonna be the other way around. Shooter takes down Beast. Why is he not being healed? Where is the Sage? Where is the Sage from the side of Team Exploit? Unfortunately, it's gonna be Trick taking down Shooter, but King replies with a triple kill of his own. Okay, that was sick. And now Stranger takes down King in a 1v3, actually in a 1v2, but he just took down King. Soulmate will make sure to get that double tier score line up. Stranger goes down 10-6 goal line. Team Exploit on the verge of another victory here.
Well, it certainly does seem to be the case. The second the round differential came down from 4 to 3, Exploit was like, you know what? Here's a free 3 kills from King, and we're going to be wrapping this up and talking about King and Trick. Both of them now have their ultimates ready, so we can see a resurrection. We can see a shift in the momentum of these players, of these of the game, if the resurrection is popped for a particular round. But again, looking at the kind of buys that we are having from side Assault, it just doesn't seem to be the case.
This is just insane coming in. Insane gameplay coming in from the side of
One enemy remaining.
oh my god, Exploit. Absolutely dominant once again, a flawless victory. Salt Esports, I mean, what are you doing right now? At this point, I don't even know. It feels like they've given up here. Or is it only me? Because right now I feel like they have given up here, Salt Esports.
Well, I don't know about Salt, but one thing's for sure, Exploit is on their way. They're 2 rounds away from taking this to, well, taking this home. They're taking the flawless win home. And if they can do that, well, I really don't know what else to say other than, well, you proved that you are the best team in the Pakistan-Afghanistan region.
Oof, yeah, they are kind of the best team right now. I mean, Salt is, you know, they're not gonna. I mean, they are still the second best team, but I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be happy being the second best, and maybe they need to work a bit more on their, you know, maybe aim, maybe a bit of communication, teamwork first of all, because we've seen them peak one by one. That is not that should not happen. You know, you should always have a 2-to-1 ratio while peaking as much as possible. It's not possible all the time. I do understand that. But we did see the way that Team Exploit peaks. Look at this, like 3-to-1, 4-to-1 ratio instead of 1-to-1. So we have an instant trade. Oh my god, the Breach ultimate coming into play here. That's gonna be insane.
Well, there you go. It's going to be Satchels coming in from Jivix. He tries to get over the top, but King is going to spot him, hear him, gets the better of him. Beast is going to be stuck on site. He gets 2, he gets 3. He's really low on HP. His head is going to get spotted out. He gets taken out. Jivix is going to get healed back up. Hats is able to get one more onto King. It's all down to the Astra. She dinks the first player. She's going to spot the second player. The bullets are not going to be coming through because, well, he does land some shots, but the bullets run out on both players, and Hats will be able to finish the round off. And there you go, we're back to the 4-round advantage that Exploit had. They were not able to take it to match point, but that was a big round coming in from the side of Salt. They had to invest their ultimates, but they got the round because, well, at this point in time, the economy is really not going to be your concern. The concern is that if Exploit reach match point, they're guaranteed overtime, and from there, they might just be able to lock the win out for themselves.
Yep. You know, actually, they only need to win one more map. Salt is a do-or-die situation. They win this, they go to the next map. If they lose this, that is a map of Bind, by the way. If they lose this, they are done and dusted here for the series here. And Exploit will walk away with the flawless winners here. Shooter will get the kill on the Jivix anyway. Once again, an early man advantage for Team Exploit. Salt Esports on the back once again.
Well, for Salt, this does not seem like the best position that they would want to keep themselves in. I mean, they understood that playing passive was the play, but again, out of nowhere, it does seem that they've started to make the aggressive plays once again. As for the side of Team Exploit, well, they're really feeling themselves as the satchel comes through. The gravitational pull is going to get fused, and then Stranger is going to lose his life, but Beast is towards B main. He's going to get the better of one of these players. He spots the Killjoy turret, gives his position away, but Darky's going in for that plant. The attacker, the defender lockdown could be used by the Killjoy, and well, there you go. That's exactly what they're going to do right here. They are going to force the players off. So they're going to force the players of Exploit to push out through the smoke, and well, as the sage does that, she's going to spot the head of Beast, gets the lockdown, gets the head, and Hats and Trick are also going to get taken out. Match point, series point for Team Exploit.
Oh my god. I mean, did you see King? He just pushed through the smoke and he got killed there. That was insane. And yeah, I mean, just the way that Team Exploit plays, man, absolutely dominant. I mean, you can still see, I mean, the players on the side of Salty, but you can see Stranger here. He's not happy. He's not sad either because they're still one of the best teams in the world, and they are the second best team in the region, right? So they're not completely sad, but at the same time, they're not completely happy because we have a technical timeout here coming into play. Salt Esports. This is the highest they could reach, by the way, against Team Exploit. First map, 6 rounds on the board. Second map, only 2. Salt Esports. They came up this close. They came this close, 7 rounds. This closest they could have come. So why not take it all the way 12 time overtime, and then maybe win from there on forward and hand exploit their first ever map loss in this particular tournament.
Well, yes, I agree. I think that it's it's going to be an interesting closure to this game, especially if you're going to be seeing any kind of you're going to be seeing any kind
You
of
should run.
difference in play coming through. As the Killjoy lockdown is going to be used, we're going to have to wait and watch as to whether these teams are going to be or these players are going to be making their way into the side. Well, there you go. They are going to be doing exactly that, and well, it's going to be a lineup for King. He gets two. He gets taken out by Trick. His counterpart. But it looks like it's all but done. It's all down to Trick, and well, he is going to be having a big task in front of him. He's not going to be landing those
Attackers
shots.
win.
It's Exploit who get the better of Team Salt on 3 maps consecutively. Ascent was a 13-6 win for Exploit, Icebox a 13-2 win for Exploit, and 13-7 on the map of Split. 2 maps chosen by Salt, and Icebox being the pick of Team Exploit.
Oh my god. Another day, another flawless run for another team. What a game, what a match, and what a showcase of power and skills coming in from the side of Team Exploit. Absolutely going ham against the team of Assault Esports. But at the end of the day, a 3-0 is what it is.
I mean, there's no other way to put this, but Team Exploit, well, they just kind of exploited the mistakes that Salt was making. And even though Salt kind of understood in the middle that, all right, you know what, Exploit is just going to be pushing aggressively and maybe we can make a play based on that. And they did get a lot of rounds simply based on the fact that, well, they weren't pushing up. It kind of worked for a while, but after that, Salt lost their bearing and, well, that was that.
Yep, you are right. But you can see it. There you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The regional Pakistan and Afghanistan regional champions, that is Team Exploit. They did not drop a single map during the entire journey. And now they'll be heading on to South Asian playoffs with a little more confidence, a little more money in their pocket for sure. And at the same time, the regional run-ups, Pakistan and Afghanistan regional runner-up, Salt Esports, they're gonna be moving on to the South Asian playoffs as well, by the way. And maybe not as confident as Team Exploit, but yes, they'll still be moving on forward in the tournament. Now they have a bit of a break here, a couple of days for them to try and improve their communication or whatever, try to work out whatever it is that did not go in their favor today against Team Exploit, or maybe Exploit is just on another level. Like, I mean, yesterday we had a new order in Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan region. Today, Pakistan and Afghanistan region, Team Exploit absolutely dominant.
Well, you always have those dominant teams from the regions. Well, we know that it's going to be new order coming in from the Sri Lanka as well as Bhutan and Nepal region, and well, it's going to be Exploit from the Pakistan and Afghanistan region. Well, it's going to be something that we will just have to wait and watch as to which teams are going to be coming in from the Indian region, or rather, we have the confirmation. In fact, it is going to be VLT who is going to be coming in from the Indian region as the top team and Enigma as the runners up. And well, I think we have a serious bunch of teams that we will have to look out for.
Yep, VLT and Enigma, two big houses, two big powerhouses once again. And now, Salt Esports and Exploit, another couple of huge teams with huge responsibilities, and the players are, really, really strong on all the 4 teams that we just named. So it's gonna be one hell of a journey here on forward in the South Asian playoffs. I mean, every match is gonna be nail biting for sure. It's not gonna. I'm pretty sure none of the matches are gonna be one-sided, because these are the teams that are best in the region, right? So there's no way they're gonna be one-sided whatsoever. And if it is one-sided, it means that the other team is completely on another level here, Dag.
Well, yes, that is definitely true. And well, so far, so good from the side of both of these teams. So we're just going to have to wait and watch till, we're just going to have to wait and watch till we get a confirmation as to VLT and Enigma. So yeah, that's going to be exactly the situation that we're at. But as for this region, well, I really don't know what to say about Exploit.
Spike planted.
Right, right. So now question I have for you, Dang.
Yeah.
What are you expecting moving on forward to the South Asian playoffs from Exploit? I mean, we have New Order, complete flawless run for them. Team Exploit right now, flawless run for them. I don't think anyone else had a flawless run throughout. I mean, in any other regions. So these two teams going head to head against each other. What can we expect, and what do you wanna see here?
Well, what can I expect to see in the playoffs, South Asian playoffs? Well, I think that as for the Sri Lankan regions, we're going to be having those teams, we're going to be having those teams have a little bit of an issue against, especially teams like Exploit, VLT, and Enigma, because these are teams that have had a lot of experience playing against good teams and playing together as a team. So that does make a big difference in how you are able to survive and how you're able to take on your opponent. So yeah, that is one of the major things that we are not worried about, but excited to see as to how it does work out. So other than that, I feel that Team Exploit, VLT, Enigma, Team Salt, these are all teams that might just have a little bit of an easier time in the competition. But then again, who are we to judge? Because at the end of the day, it is going to be the bullets and the guns and the aim of these players that does the talking.
Yep. I mean, what are we? We just completely just telling the story of what's happening on the screens there. But it's all about the players and I mean, this clutch from King, man. Oh my God, that was just absolutely beautiful. He knew where to peak, where to expect. That was just absolutely insane. I mean, that is one of the reasons why they are the best in the region right now. The aim and everything is on point, and also the coordination, the practice. I believe these players have practiced multiple hours, and looking at the scoreboard, you can see it. You can see that Salt did put up a good fight, because for the first time in the three maps, you can see three of the Salt players in the top half of the scoreboard. So it goes like this: King 381, absolutely insane plays coming in with the Sage, 28 kills, 12 deaths, 2.5 KD right there, and then 92 recon rating, 4 first bloods, absolutely insane. Shooter 369 combat score, 25 kills, 17 deaths. But you want to know what's insane? What's more insane than a battle Sage? 9 first bloods on Shooter. Beast, on the other hand, 15 kills, 1 first blood. Hat is on top as well with 16, 2 first bloods. Trick, same score, 16 with 2 first bloods. Zivix, on the other hand, 10 kills. Soulmate, 11. HSB, 10. Darky sits at the bottom with 12. And Stranger, unfortunately, not going. This map did not go his way. 7 kills and 18 deaths. 13-7. That's the bottom line. At the end of the day, 3-0 is the scoreline. Exploit absolutely destroyed Salty Sports here.
Well, I will call it, I'll call it a close game, considering we saw almost an even split coming through. And well, it still did swing in the favor of Exploit in the general and in the grand scheme of things. But again, these kind of things do keep happening. But as for Salt, at least I'm really impressed that they were able to put up a fight on the map of Split, because well, a split is a map that a lot of times is simply based on your gunfights, because well, the map is so small, you can take map control very easily, which tends to lean the map towards a gunfight heavy map. Like Breeze, the map is just too big for the teams to really use any strategies, and which is why it tends to the gunfights. But it's the middle ground. It's maps like Ascent, Bind, Icebox, and even Haven to a certain extent that kind of do rely on the strategy that teams have more than the gunfight potential. But maps like Split and Breeze, they're definitely going to be something, and even Fracture for that matter, because it's a small map. It forces you to take those gunfights, take up map control, and which is why I'm really impressed for Salt that they were able to take those fights to Exploit. And though they weren't able to walk away with the entire win, you know,
Yep.
we at least got to saw that they were able to give them some kind of a fight.
Yep, absolutely beautiful gameplay, and you're right. A fracture and everything. Yeah, these are the maps, the pug regions. But pugs MMs are different, and you're playing a scrim is different, and sitting down to play a tournament is a different thing here. Dang, something that these players have mastered, and something we are looking forward to. Maybe maybe one day we'll also be playing a tournament. You never know. Dang.
Well, I mean, you want to team up? We could definitely do that. And, well, you could carry me around because, well, I'm not that good at Valo, unfortunately.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm still improving. If any team is looking forward to
Yeah.
hire a player, boys, if we both are available here, I guess Dang and me will be the Dangy Edge or the Edgy Dang. I don't know some name. Maybe we might improve. We will definitely improve. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Every day we learn something new. It's a learning curve for all of us. And what was that, Nate, again? Who taught us that? From someone from South Esports showed us a really
The
cool
Killjoy, the
KJ
Killjoy, yeah,
swarm grenade
yeah,
to the heaven, right on the
right,
map of
yeah,
Essent.
yeah, A Haven. So now I personally remember the brick. It's just outside
Hmm.
main. You look up to the roof, you see the spike in the air, and you aim for that. You yeet that grenade, and it's going to reach exactly at heaven. And open that up, and you have a free site execute for a already. Although that is all considering that you have smoked off tree, because you cannot be like, oh, I dropped that swarm grenade, I'm going to run in and that's going to be a free site for me. No, that's not going to be the case. You have to smoke off the angles that are needed, and then you will be able to take that site for free. But don't forget to clear out box and gen, and maybe even under heaven. But yes,
Yeah, under heaven.
yeah, under
A
heaven.
really big thing.
Yeah,
A
because
lot of people,
yeah, a
yeah, a
lot
lot of
of
people
times,
tend to miss it.
yeah, not just missing it, we've lost rounds simply based on the fact that someone's planted, the guy snuck up behind them, started the diffuse off, and the beep just got covered up. And that has happened in a gold lobby.
Oh
The
boy,
diffuse was popped
you
by me
the
though.
ninja diffuse,
Yeah, the
the
diffuse was
infamous ninja
popped by me,
diffuses.
but the other team just didn't realize it, all because they did not check under heaven. So make sure you do that because, well, I got a free round win on the basis of that one mistake. Make sure you don't lose on the basis of that small mistake.
Yep, I mean, there are small, silly mistakes sometimes. We tend to overlook them, but they are the reasons why we might lose a match. We might lose the entire match. We definitely going to lose the match round. We might lose the match on the basis of that. We might lose our rank as well. Because, once, I mean, it's really hard, having that rank grind. I see a lot of pro players trying to get their rank Radiant, Immortal. Once you go to Immortal and stuff, as soon as you lose, it hurts.
Yeah,
Like you get that minus 20, minus 21. You see a rank going from 10,000 to 15,000. You're like, oh boy, I'm gonna kill myself. That is the feeling you get. You have that thing. And when you win, you get like what, 12, 15, and you lose, you have minus 20.
yeah.
Like, how is this even fair? That is something to look forward to. And maybe Riot should fix it up, or I don't know how it works, the elo and everything. But whatever it is, that is guys. Tournaments are completely different. Doesn't matter if you're platinum, you can still beat a Radiant team because tournaments and scrims, they are different, completely different. Your rank does not matter. But let me tell you one thing. I've heard, and I have also, I might agree to this as well. I would say that skins sometimes may give you a slight benefit. Like for me, if I had the Reaver, I did buy myself a glitch pop Vandal, but I think if I had the Reaver in my hand, I think my aim gets a bit better for some
I
reason.
don't know
I mean,
about that.
is it only
I
me?
prefer the glitch pop over the Reaper. Now that might trigger a lot of people and be like, pitches and forks for me, but I don't know. I just prefer the feel and the look of the glitch pop a lot more. And as for Phantoms, well, I've got to give it to the Spectrum. I mean, uh,
Ooh.
the Blastex was my favorite, but for some reason, ever since I've used the Spectrum, I can't go back to any Phantom. I use the Singularity or the Prime or the Blastex. It just doesn't work. It's only the Spectrum that works.
I mean the new Spectrum skins. Yeah, I like that. I really like the finisher there. You know, completely changes up the entire environment.
Yeah.
Gives you that Z feeling. Z, an epic DJ once again. But yeah, him collaborating and just making that. But yeah, that's all about the skins. But along with skins, you need skills. And today we had a great display of skills coming in from the side of Team Exploit. Salt, they did put up a show, but it just wasn't good enough. I mean, 7 plus 6, that's 13 plus 2. 15 rounds is all they could do. While the opponents, that is the side of Exploit, 13 plus 13 plus 30, that's 39. So Salt, they were not even close to winning at least any of the matches. They were just completely destroyed and getting annihilated.
Well, yes, that is true. And I I mean, just looking at the journey that these teams have had, it has been a really, really, it has been a really long one. It has been a great one as well. But it just kind of goes to, it just goes down to the fact that at the end of the day, it's just the winner that is going to be getting the recognition. Though the runners up interview is also going to be coming up in a moment, in any any moment now. And well, we will be having a talk with some of the players from Team Salt, followed by some of the players from from the
The
side
winning
of,
team,
yeah, from the side of Team
Team
Exploit as
Exploit.
well. Yeah,
Yep.
so
I
that's
mean, I
going to be
really
really
want.
interesting.
I really want to see what the mindset is of the players of Salt right now. I mean, yeah, I already know what Team Exploit, how they must be feeling. Not because I've won tournaments. I'm just saying, like how we've already talked to a lot of teams that have won, right? But I really want to see how the runners up after losing. What is the mindset of Salt Esports? How are they coping up, especially after that devastating loss? I mean, 0-3. They're not going to be happy about it, but I think they should not be decided, but because it's still an achievement. It's still a big achievement, a really good achievement, being the runners up of the entire region, Pakistan and Afghanistan region. So something to feel proud about, but at the same time, they need to focus and come up with a different plan. Because if they're going to go into South Asian players with the same plan of action, I'm pretty sure it's not going to work in their favor. Because if they cannot beat Team Exploit, I mean, of their own region, who they played against like multiple times, good luck beating other teams from other regions, man. I mean, it's going to be impossible, close to impossible, or at least really, really hard. So they need to come up with better executions, maybe change their game of play, or maybe change their agents, because, that breach was a Sky. That played a crucial role here today, the first match.
Well, yes, that is true. I think the breach versus the Sky really helped out Exploit's aggressive play. I mean, yes, the Sky can also do the same things that a breach can, but there are just some things that a breach can do that the Sky cannot. You cannot force an entire team off to, fall off. You cannot force an entire team to really change their position, to be fair. And also that ultimate, well, it's kind of a mixed bag. Breach lets you get the site for free, while Sky works a little bit like that Cypher ult, which lets you try to understand what the rotations of the players might be. Is there a flank? Is there three players on A? Are there four players on A? Is there just one single player on B? So all of that is going to be something that only the Sky can do and the Breach cannot. But then hey, if they were the same, wouldn't a Sky be called a Breach, or wouldn't a Breach be called a Sky? But still, with that note, we're going to be heading over to the runners up interview any moment now. We have the players joining in on the lobby, and well, that should give us a good idea into
Mhm.
the mindset of these players of Team Salt, followed by which will be Team Exploits interview. And well, can't wait for both of them.
True, true. I really want to see the mindsets. I mean, especially after losing, I really want to know what the mindset is. And then I'm looking forward to the interview between the among the players or with the players of Team Exploit there as well. They did become a team that has won once again flawlessly throughout the tournament. So what are they? Are they feeling overconfident? Because yeah, it was a pretty easy run for them. I mean, they made it look easy. It wasn't easy. But moving on to the South Asian playoffs, do they think they can carry on the same momentum? Or I mean, they're definitely going to be having tougher opponents, right? I mean, if I'm not wrong, if my data here is correct, they'll be facing teams like VLT, Enigma. They're going to be facing Salt Esports once again. E2S Lexius, Exili Esports, That's one more. And the wild card, there's still the wild card qualifiers. So one of these teams might also qualify. That is Team EXO from India, Fear Legends from Pakistan, Team VPG Headhunters from Bangladesh, and from Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan region. We will be having NAVIF Masters. So they'll be fighting among themselves for the wildcard qualifier. And one of those teams will have another chance to make it into the South Asian playoffs. So a lot of big names there. So Team Exploit and Salt Esports, they better be prepared here.
Well, yes, that is true. And with that, I think it is time for us to take a look at the interview that will be going on between both of, between Sky as well as Team Salt. So we will be catching you on the other side of this interview.
एंड एक छोटा सा सवाल मेरा आपसे ये भी है, आई मीन प्लीज डोंट माइंड, बट या असेंट पे जब हमें ऐसा देखने को मिला बीस्ट की यस यू गाइस डिड वेरी वेल जब आप अटैक कर रहे थे एंड काफी अच्छा आप लोगों ने राउंड्स निकाला एंड वेल आई वाज होपिंग कि सॉल्ट ई स्पोर्ट्स वेल यहाँ पे डिफेंस में काफी शानदार राउंड्स देखने को मिले, बट स्टिल डिफेंस जब असेंट चल रहा था डिफेंस में भी आप लोग यहाँ पे लैग कर गए. सो व्हाट वेंट रॉन्ग देयर वंस अगेन एंड क्या मिस्टेक आप लोगों की तरफ से वहां पे हुई व्हाइल यू वर इन डिफेंस?
एसेंट में उनकी एग्जीक्यूशन काफ़ी अच्छी थी, इस वजह से हम उनको काउंटर नहीं कर पाए. सो वी थॉट प्लेइंग अग्रेसिव, उनको लाइक एग्जीक्यूशन करने का मौका नहीं दिया, बट इट डिडंट वर्क एज वेल. सो या उनकी एग्जीक्यूशन, उनके टीम वर्क काफ़ी अच्छा था.
Mythica.
Okay. What I wanted to ask was, what do you think was the reason behind you guys struggling on icebox? Would you say that you guys weren't able to read them properly? या क्या कहते हैं कोई और issue था?
आइस बॉक्स से हम ऑलरेडी हारने के लिए तैयार थे. कहना तो नहीं चाहिए, बट क्योंकि हमारा वो मैप है नहीं, हम लोग प्रैक्टिस ही नहीं करते उस मैप पे. इन शॉर्ट इट्स व्हाट हमारा फर्स्ट प्लान हमेशा वही होता है. सो या
Okay, that sounds about right, because yeah, Icebox was not something I was really looking forward to as well. जितने भी maps मैंने देखे हैं, Salt almost every time Icebox को ban करती हुई मुझे नजर आई है. But yes, I think overall आपका जो teamwork था, that really shined at a point, and I think consistency is something that is really lacking in your team. And I'm pretty sure कि आप उसके साथ साथ भी आगे आएंगे and you will improvise and improve as well. Well, आपको पता है already Beast की चैंपियनशिप 3.0 अभी आज आपके मैच के साथ जो रीजनल प्लेऑफ्स है, इट्स डन. अभी कोने में रख के आप जो भी आपके नोट्स वगैरह है, सब कुछ आप रख दे सकते हैं. नाउ इट्स अबाउट साउथ एशिया. व्हाट आर योर प्रिपरेशंस एंड व्हाट्स योर मेंटालिटी ऑन दैट थिंग?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं ये कहूँगा कि इट्स नॉट ओवर अंटिल इट्स ओवर, क्योंकि हम लोग अब दोबारा हम अपने प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट करेंगे और सब कम बैक करने की फुल ट्राई करेंगे. न्यू प्रैक्टिस, न्यू सब चीज़ें, एंड देन वी विल कम बैक stronger than ever.
That's amazing. Mythica.
Yeah, that's actually really good to hear. Do you guys plan on making any changes to maybe like comps or
In roster?
other things?
Roster,
anything?
no. Comps maybe yes. अभी बताऊंगा नहीं, but you guys will see.
Oh, of
No
course.
revealing.
We shouldn't be revealing this
No one
right now.
reveals. Everyone
We
just
wanna
keeps
see it
everything
in
in their
game.
pockets. Exactly. We want to see that in game as well. Well, Anki, over to you.
आई मीन जी बिल्कुल, यहाँ पे जैसा कि हमें 20 ने बताया कि मैं यहाँ पे नहीं बताने वाला हूँ एंड मैं यहाँ पे डायरेक्ट गेम में हमारा दिखाई देने वाला है कॉम्स. तो ये चीज़ बिल्कुल हमारे लिए भी सरप्राइज रहेगी. वी ऑल विल बी वेटिंग एंड वो एग्जैक्ट क्वेश्चन मेरा भी था कि अभी जो हो गया वो हो गया, जो गलतियां हुई वो हुई. एंड वाइल कास्टिंग आई वाज लाइक यही चीज़ मैं पॉइंट कर रहा था कि वेल मिस्टेक्स हो गए, उनको साइड में रखा जाए, कॉन्फिडेंस डाउन हुआ, सब चीज को साइड में रखा जाए, एंड एज अ प्लेयर आपको चीजें भूलनी पड़ती हैं, बिकॉज देर इज लाइक आपके लिए रुकना नहीं है, आपको और आगे बढ़ते जाना है। तो साउथ एशिया प्लेऑफ्स के लिए आपकी क्या तैयारियां हैं, एंड जिस तरीके से कहीं ना कहीं हमें सॉल्ट की टीम की तरफ से 3-0 का स्कोर यहाँ पे देखने को मिला, विच क्लियरली स्टेट्स कि कहीं ना कहीं आपकी पूरी की पूरी टीम जो है वो लैक कर रही थी। तो इस चीज के बारे में आपका क्या प्रिपरेशन है, एंड व्हाट कैन यू पॉसिबली डू, लाइक जब बाकी रीजन की टीम्स भी आपके साथ यहाँ पे फाइट करने वाली है, व्हाट विल बी योर प्लान्स बेस्ड? जी
हम गलतियों से अपनी काफ़ी सीखेंगे, क्योंकि आज हमने बहुत गलतियाँ की हैं, बहुत ओवर एग्रेशन किया है, बहुत गलत डिसीजंस लिए हैं, इंडिविजुअल डिसीजन भी काफ़ी गलत थे, बट खैर वी विल ओवरकम ऑल ऑफ देम, और यस वी विल कम बैक स्ट्रॉन्गर।
नाइस।
I have no doubts on that. I really have no doubts on that. But मैं एक ही चीज कहूंगा आपसे बीस्ट की, you have a very powerful team. You have a pack of wolves जो शेरों पे भारी हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, I'll give you that thing. And if you work hard, I really think कि आगे आपका जो सफर है वो तो मुश्किल होने वाला है, उसके बारे में कोई डाउट नहीं, आगे का सफर मुश्किल है, बट यस आपको मेहनत बहुत ज्यादा करनी है. यू एज एन आईजीएल, लाइक आई हैड वंस अपॉन बीइंग आईजीएल ऑफ माय कंपेटिटिव टीम इन वेरियस गेम्स देयर, एंड मुझे पता है कितनी ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी रहती है. you guys tried really well, but it's not over until it's over yet. So yes, साउथ एशिया प्लेऑफ्स में मिलेंगे आपसे, फिर आपकी टीम के साथ भी मिलेंगे, एंड आई एम really excited to find out कि वहां पर चल के what tricks are you going to pull off your pockets, because आपने already कह दिया कि there are going to be maybe some comms change, and I don't know, maybe there's just a new salt meta that comes rolling in.
Hopefully.
All right, then thank you so
जी
much
बिल्कुल, I
Beast
mean,
for joining us here on the desk, and I think
Thank you for
abhi to
inviting me.
absolutely, like we'll talk to you more, on this, and thank you so much for joining us. Well, Mithika and Anki, एक चीज तो यहाँ पे like it has been clearly mentioned कि जी हाँ, there are going to
जी
be changes, there are going to be a lot of
Yeah.
changes. So I think अभी आपको जो हम wish कर सकते हैं Beast, that's just all the very best. Mithika and Anki, anything to
Thank
add
you,
on to
man.
that?
आई मीन जी, मैं तो
Yeah,
यही
I
कहना
mean,
चाहूंगा यहाँ पे
good
बीच से
luck.
कि ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट, आगे के जो चीजें हैं उसके लिए ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट, एंड बढ़िया से खेलिए, अच्छा प्रदर्शन दिखाइए, एंड मेक योर टीम प्राउड। आई मीन या दैट्स ऑल द बेस्ट।
Thank you. Thank you. You-
That was Salt. I'm wondering what Exploit is going to say. I'm just wondering what Exploit is going to say, because I'm the first question.
So we're back, ladies and gentlemen, to AMD Ryzen presents Skyesports Championship 3.0. Well, we just had the interview with the players from Team Salt, and well, we got a beautiful insight as to what they're feeling and what plans do they have for the games going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And one thing that they made, I mean, that Beast made really clear is that there are changes coming up, right? So let's hope that changes are going to be in a good way for this team. They're not going to backfire for them, because some changes are not good. Some changes are good. Some changes help you win. Well, some changes just, pull you back. Let's just hope that these are the changes that Team Salt need moving forward into the South Asian players, because the way that Beast was talking, he feels really confident about his team, and so are we. We know that they are one of the best teams that we have here in the playoffs, and they can put up one hell of a fight against anyone and anyone and anywhere.
Well, yes, that is definitely true. And speaking about what we have in store, it is going to be Team Exploits players whom we're going to have a small chit chat with next. So we'll be waiting for them to join the call with us, and then we will have an insight as to what these players have in store for the games coming forward. But again, coming back a little bit towards what we have seen from the side of Salt as well as from the side of Exploit is going to be the fact that, well, these teams have tended to be a lot more aggressive than the teams we saw yesterday. We saw yesterday that New Order as well as their opponents were a little, as you can say, passive. They were going in for those strategic plays, not more into those aggressive plays. But for today, we saw teams pushing into mid on ascent in the pistol rounds. Like, the only time we see mid plays usually come out is when there's an operator player either at catwalk or at top mid or on tiles or at market. but we don't see 4 players push into mids trying to take out each other with a flurry of bullets. So what was your thought about that, Edge?
I mean, you're right. I mean, you usually don't see that type of gameplay coming in from any of the teams, but here it's not any of the teams that we're talking about. It Exploit and Salt Esports. You kind of have to. I mean, they have played against each other for so long and so much that anything that they do is gonna be countered, right? So Exploit was like, hold up, you think we used all our strats? Nope, we still have a secret strat book, and that is push mid. So they were taking that mid control every single time, at least with one player. And Salt, I mean, they did expect it a couple of rounds, but they did not expect it to happen every single time. That's where Exploit came up on top. You know, Salt, they were ready for Exploit, but this Exploit was a new Exploit, and they came in like a goddamn explosion and exploded on the entire server on 3 different maps. So, Salt Esports, yep, they're good, but are they good enough to beat Team Exploit? As of now, I do not think so. Team Exploit, they are OP. That's all I'm gonna say. They are OP. I mean, the way that they were moving on the map and the crossfires and team plays, the gameplay coming in, the solo gameplay, especially from King, that 1v3 clutch on the map of Split was absolutely beautiful. And the crossfires from Astra and Jet, from Sova and Jet, everyone just making sure that the duelist is secure and it has that backup necessary. That is the kind of team that you need to win, and Team Exploit is that kind of team.
Well, yes, I agree. I think that the kind of team that really you need to make sure that you worry about is the team that doesn't keep their same playstyle. They keep changing their playstyle. And one of the reasons that teams like Velocity as well as Global Esports are that good is, well, is the fact that they're able to change up their playstyle as and when that is needed. So again, I think that what do you say? I think that it really comes back down to the fact that if you are a team that can change your playstyle, update it like a software update maybe, then you are definitely going to be having a big advantage when you take on a team that you've played before.
Right. If you keep updating your gameplay, and it's not just that. It's because they played against each other so long. Because they are from the same region, right? They must have played against themselves in multiple MMs, multiple matchmaking, pugs, scrims especially, and multiple tournaments. They know each other very well. And now moving on to South Asian players, they'll be meeting teams. I mean, they did play against these teams. They may have played against these teams a few times, but not as much as they would have played against each other in the same region because they're from the different region, right? And they might have met each other on a goddamn MM server, but that's about it. Maybe in scrims, but that's about it. In tournaments, everything goes out the window. You cannot predict, you cannot expect, you always have to expect the unexpected. And that is what I'm looking forward to. And that is what these teams have in store for us. I'm pretty sure it's going to be one hell of a journey from here on forward because we have all the teams ready. I mean, just the wildcard qualifiers to be done. But apart from that, we have the other 7 teams ready to rumble in the South Asian playoffs, that is.
Well, I agree. I think that for Team Exploit, this is going to be a great stage as well to kind of prove what they can do in our region because, well, right now it's going to be, VCC for us, and we're going to have Global Esports taking a shot at a spot for the next LAN in VCT, but that is going to be a little far away. We will have to wait before we get to see a confirmation. And even for Global Esports, it's not going to be that easy of a game because, well, that is going to be some of the best teams, not just from this region, it's going to be from this major region, which is going to be including Asia and Asia Pacific as well. So Japan,
Exactly.
Korea, and we're going to be having Vision Strikers and teams like Newton. So their work's cut out for them. But for the teams that are going to be playing in this tournament in this region, I think the team to beat would probably be VLT.
Yeah, right now the team to beat is gonna be. I mean, all eyes are set on VLT, right? Another giant from India region there. I mean, Enigma and VLT, they did qualify to the South Asian playoffs, and Team EXO, they are the third team. But they are in the wild qualifiers. They have a high chance. I mean, high probability of qualifying to the South Asian playoffs. But we still have to wait for that to happen. But as of now, VLT is a team to beat. You beat VLT, you basically are the best team in in the region, in the South Asian playoffs as of now, because they have been dominant. We know what they can do and their potential. But at the same time, Exploit, they beat VLT last time, if I'm not wrong. So
yeah,
they did beat VLT and
on
they
one
pushed
map, I believe.
VLT. Yeah, I think the entire game actually went their favor, 2-1.
All right.
So yeah, they pushed them to the lower bracket. So VLT is looking forward to that revenge. But then actually VLT came back to beat Team Exploit. They did get their revenge. So now it's time for Team Exploit for their revenge. Or are VLT gonna stand strong this time? Because this is something that is like, the David and Goliath kind of gameplay here coming in. The David and Goliath match. VLT, the Giants from India, and then Team Exploit, the Giants from Pakistan. Especially due to the gameplays these two teams have, it's going to be incredible to watch. And if it's a BO5, it's a treat for all of us.
Well, yes, that is definitely true. A BO5 between both these teams would definitely be a very, very interesting match to see. But again, that is going to have to wait for a little while. We're still getting confirmation as to whether they are going to be coming in. So, we are just having a little chit chat to make sure that we know when Team Exploit is going to be showing up on our screens. But is there a question that you would want to ask Team Exploit to, Edge?
Well, I did wanted to ask something to Salt Esports, and Beast gave me that answer. But now, talking about the players of Team Exploit, I would say maybe something like, you did beat VLT once, and now you're gonna face them. You may face them again in the South Asian playoffs. So, is it the same? Is it gonna be the same outcome? Or do you have something else prepared? Do you have something else in the mind? And also, I really want to know if VLT is the team that they're looking forward to be taken down, or do they have any other team? Because yesterday we were talking New Order, and they wanted to be in the grand finals against VLT. So I really want to know whose Team Exploit wants to face in the South Asian playoffs.
Well, yes, that is true. I think that they would definitely not want to face VLT because they wouldn't want to directly just jump in with the strongest team in the game. Or maybe they would even want to do that because who knows, they might look at it as a way to build their confidence and to break the confidence of VLT and the other teams. Like if you see a team from the get-go beats VLT and you are a team who is going to be playing Team Exploit next, you're definitely going to be scared because, well, VLT is VLT at the end of the day. So it is going to mean that we will have to just wait a little bit more. We have confirmation that the interview has started, so we're just waiting for it to arrive for us because, well, as you know, streams do have some delay and we just have to live with that. But till then, we can have a small chit chat session as we were, and well, it is going to mean that Team Exploit's interview is going to be coming up any moment now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, there you go. As we were talking about, the interview is right there.
You guys are officially the champions of the Pakistan and Afghanistan region. How are you guys doing?
थैंक यू सो मच, वी आर फाइन. आप लोग बताओ.
हम तो बस मजे कर रहे हैं. आप लोग एंटरटेन करवा रहे हो, हम लोग एंटरटेन हो रहे हैं. लाइक that's as simple as that. Well, सबसे पहले तो मैं HSB से पूछना चाहूंगा, why breach? हर मैप के ऊपर why do you have to play breach? मतलब इतना तंग करना जरूरी है अपने ओपोनेंट्स को?
ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन पूछा आपने. असल में जब अभी रिसेंट हमारी टीम में चेंजेस आए थे तो मुझे क्या कहते हैं स्काई का रोल दिया था. तो मैं स्टार्ट में स्काई खेल रहा था सारी स्क्रिम्स में, सारी प्रैक्टिसेस में. और जब हमारी टीम में डार्की का एडिशन हुआ तो उसके बाद ना मैंने फोर्सफुली सोलमेट को कहा, हमारा जो IGL है, मैंने कहा यार मैं बस ब्रीच खेल रहा हूँ स्क्रिम में, तुम ट्राई कर लो, आई थिंक आई एम अ गुड ब्रीच. तो उसने कहा नहीं 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 यार. मैंने कहा चलो एक स्क्रिम में ट्राई करते हैं क्या होता है ना. तो असल में जब मैंने वैलोरेंट स्टार्ट किया था फर्स्ट टाइम, तो मेरा पहला एजेंट था ही ब्रीच. मैंने मतलब स्टार्ट ही वैलोरेंट ब्रीच पे किया था. तो मैंने एक स्क्रिम में ब्रीच पे किया और थोड़ा सा कंफर्टेबल मैं भी फील कर रहा था, टीम को भी मज़ा आ रहा था साथ में। तो उसके बाद ब्रीच ऑनवर्ड्स हर मैप में मैं ब्रीच ही खेल रहा हूँ, और बस एक आध मैप में स्काई, एक मैप में सोवा है, मगर बाकी मैप से ब्रीच हूँ।
वेल मजा तो हमें भी आ रहा है। मिथिका,
I actually knew about all of this before. मुझे पता था हमेशा से Hasib has like a really good reach. I was always excited about his reach. मुझे हमेशा से लगता था like in Pakistan there's not a lot of reach players to be honest. And I knew that he was one of the people that actually enjoyed playing the agent. तो मतलब जब मैंने देखा ना अभी recently tournaments के अंदर के he's like started picking up breach. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna cause so many problems for other teams. It's going to be so annoying. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good thing. But what I do want to ask though, I want to ask Darky, how has your settlement been in the team? I know, ke, matlab, you know, recently you were getting framed a lot about like not being able to
Yeah.
perform at the same level as your teammates, but you know you came back stronger and you actually performed so well recently. Like तुम्हारी performances बहुत प्यारी जा रही हैं. तो मतलब what do you have to say to people like that doubted you, and what do you have to say about yourself?
थिंग इज मैं हमेशा से सेंटिनल खेलता आ रहा था और साइफर ये किल जो है, बट बीच में मैंने कंट्रोलर चलाया था। तो जब मुझे मैंने एक्सपर्ट ज्वाइन की और फिर मुझे कंट्रोलर का रोल मिला, तो आई थिंक मुझे एडजस्ट करने में टाइम लगता है, लेकिन कुछ आई थिंक लोग हैं जिनको ये बात समझ नहीं आती है। तो इसी वजह से ऑब्वियसली लोग मुझे क्लेम कर रहे थे कि मैं परफॉर्म नहीं कर पा रहा था, बट फिर सोलमेट मुझे बहुत यानी चीज़ें नई नई बताता रहता है। हमारा आईसीएल बहुत अच्छा है, तो इस वजह से मुझे
नाइस।
इम्प्रूव करने में यानी टाइम कम लगा। तो अब मैं एडजस्ट हो गया हूँ और अब आई थिंक अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस ही मिलेंगी।
Anki.
अच्छा, इस बारे में मुझे
I
भी
mean,
कुछ कहना है
बिल्कुल
वैसे।
Oh yeah,
जी
please,
बिल्कुल
please,
बिल्कुल
please,
तो
please.
करिए।
अब
यस
बात
एचएसबी।
ये, जब डार्की हमारी टीम में आया था और हमारा पहला टूर्नामेंट था, तो वो उसका मतलब एज इन के हमारे साथ फर्स्ट टाइम था, 2 दिन हुए थे या 3 दिन हुए थे। तो आई थिंक इट वाज टू अर्ली टू जज, टू बी ऑनेस्ट। और आई थिंक ये हमारे साथ खेलना इटसेल्फ एक बहुत प्रेशर वाली बात है, क्योंकि हम लोग काफ़ी डोमिनेंट रहे हैं सीन में अपने सीएस और वैलोरेंट के सर्किट के थ्रू। तो इटसेल्फ एक प्रेशर भी थोड़ा ज़्यादा होता है। अगर कोई प्लेयर हमारी टीम में फर्स्ट टाइम आता है, एडजस्ट करने में उसको थोड़ा टाइम लगता है। मगर होपफुली डार्की, हम लोग तुम्हारे ऊपर इतना हार्श नहीं थे और हम लोग उसको काम रखते थे, और हमें पता था कि यार लगेगा उसको एडजस्ट करने में, क्योंकि वो फर्स्ट टाइम हमारी टीम में आके खेल रहा है और भी है, बहुत सारी चेंजेस आई हैं। तो मतलब क्रिटिसिज्म तो, अगर हम क्रिटिसिज्म पे फोकस करें, वो हमेशा से ही हमारे ऊपर रहा है। और मतलब कि प्रैक्टिस और 2 दिन के रोस्टर शफल में क्या जजमेंट हम पास कर सकते हैं। आई थिंक भी काफ़ी कंफर्टेबल होस्ट था। आई थिंक अभी तक भी पूरी तरह हुआ नहीं है, क्योंकि कुछ हमें हमारी टीम में अभी भी हैं और मिस प्लेस हम अभी भी करते हैं, कुछ गलतियां हम अभी भी करते हैं। उस्मान भी हम क्या गलतियां कर रहे हैं, सोलमेट आई एम सॉरी, और मैं भी देखता रहता हूँ कभी कभार डेमो में कि हम क्या गलतियां कर रहे हैं। तो आई थिंक अभी भी है थोड़ा सा रूम फॉर इम्प्रूवमेंट, मगर ऐसे ऐसे डार्की भी कंफर्टेबल हो रहा है और पूरी टीम भी कंफर्टेबल हो रही है।
आई मीन जी बिल्कुल। और यू नो आईजीएल का सपोर्ट, एक सपोर्टिव आईजीएल जैसा कि हम सबको डार्की ने बताया, एंड एक फ्रेंडली, एक पारिवारिक माहौल यहाँ पे टीम में देखने को मिल रहा है। वेल और क्या चाहिए आगे बढ़ने के लिए, ऐसे ही सपोर्ट अगर मिलता रहे, वेल यू कैन गो। एचएसबी, मेरे 2 क्वेश्चंस हैं आपके लिए, एंड डार्की आपके लिए एक क्वेश्चन है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, वेन एवर आई प्ले ब्रीच, लाइक मेरा तो कुछ रैंक भी नहीं है, ब्रॉन्ज सिल्वर ऐसा कुछ रहेगा, आई डोंट नो, बट ब्रीच एक काफी अनोइंग कैरेक्टर माना जाता है। जिस तरीके से आप खेल रहे हैं एचएसबी, मैं बहुत ज्यादा, आई मीन यू नो ब्रीच मैं खेलता हूँ, मुझसे उतना ज्यादा होता नहीं है, बट मैं जब जब प्लेयर्स अनॉय होते हैं वो देख के बहुत ज्यादा मजा आता है। तो आपका ऐसा क्या सिचुएशन रहा है, लाइक व्हाट डू यू फील, लाइक यू नो ऑडियंस भी जानना चाहती होगी कि इन ए कॉम्पिटिटिव सिनेरियो क्या होता है, बिकॉज व्हेन लाइक वी फ्लैश एंड बिल्कुल एजेंट यहाँ पे खड़ा है, एंड देन व्हेन यू किल, यू लाइक आई फील आता है कि ओ माय गॉड आई डिड वेरी गुड थिंग। सेकेंड चीज कि जो पहला मैप खेला गया था असेंट में, आप अटैकर साइड में चली गई आपकी पूरी की पूरी टीम, एंड काफी अच्छा प्रदर्शन यहाँ पे कहा सकता है कि सॉल्ट की तरफ से देखने को मिला। वेल वी थॉट कि यहाँ पे अटैक में यू नो उतने ज्यादा मौके नहीं दिए जाएंगे, बट स्टिल आप लोगों ने बहुत शानदार तरीके से पुल किया। तो व्हाट वाज दैट, कैन यू प्लीज लाइक कुछ शब्द आप उसके लिए, दोनों क्वेश्चंस के लिए पहले बता सके एचएसबी जी।
अच्छा, तो पहले क्वेश्चन की बात अब ये है कि आई थिंक अगर
जी
सोलमेट हमारा प्राइमरी लीडर है और हमारा माइंड है टीम के पीछे, तो आई थिंक सेकेंडरी माइंड मैं ही हूँ टीम के पीछे, जिसका गेम में बहुत एक्टिव माइंड
जी
चल रहा होता है।
या
और ऑनेस्टली खुद भी नहीं पता था कि शायद मेरी टीम को इतना ब्रीच फेवर करेगी, मगर वो बहुत वर्कआउट कर रहे हैं हमारे लिए सडनली। और ब्रीच बहुत फिट इन कर रहा है हमारी टीम में। और आई थिंक कि मेरा प्ले स्टाइल थोड़ा सा प्रोएक्टिव है, एज इन कि मेरा माइंड गेम में बहुत प्रोएक्टिव चल रहा होता है। मैं सोच रहा होता हूँ गेम के अंदर गेम के बारे में। तो अब मैं अपनी टीम को बीच से ज़्यादा बेहतर सपोर्ट कर सकता हूँ। मैं उसकी स्पेल्स बहुत अच्छे से यूज़ कर पाता हूँ एज अ क्या कहते हैं
नाइस
सेकेंडरी माइंड बिहाइंड। पहली बात का तो ये जवाब हो गया। दूसरी बात का जवाब हो गया कि हम लोगों ने इतने गेम्स एक दूसरे के अगेंस्ट अब तक तो खेल लिए हैं कि सॉल्ट को हमारी चीज़ें पता है, हमें सॉल्ट की चीज़ें पता है, प्ले स्टाइल एक दूसरे का पता है। तो अगर कुछ राउंड्स बैक एंड फोर्थ, कुछ राउंड अगर स्ट्रेट वो उठाएं या स्ट्रेट हम उठाएं, तो आई थिंक ये गेम को इतनी जल्दी ये चीज़ डिटरमिन नहीं कर सकती। गेम के अंदर थोड़े से और फैक्टर्स होते हैं उनके और हमारे बीच में, कि अटैक और डिफेंड उनको हमारे सेटअप्स काफ़ी ज़्यादा रीड है और हमें उनके सेटअप्स की काफ़ी ज़्यादा रीड है। तो आई थिंक बैक एंड फोर्थ गेम चलता है, मगर कंफर्टेबली हम लोगों ने लीड इसलिए ले ली थी क्योंकि अटैक पे हम बहुत ज़्यादा उनको शट डाउन कर रहे थे। हम लोग उनकी साइड होल्ड सारे ब्रेक कर रहे थे अपनी यूटिलिटी यूजेज से। और आई थिंक अभी
नाइस
फिलहाल हमारी टीम में हमारी स्ट्रेंथ यही है कि हमारा हर एजेंट अपनी यूटिलिटी यूजेज जो है ना बहुत स्ट्रांगली कर रहा है। अगर ब्रीच
जी
के फॉल्ट लाइंस हों, एस्ट्रा के स्टन्स हों, एस्ट्रा के पुल्स हों, सोलमेट के मॉली लाइनअप्स हों, फ्लैश लाइनअप्स हों, आई थिंक हमारी वो जो कॉम्बोज हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं। हमारे एरोज, हमारे शॉक डार्ट्स, तो आई थिंक ये कॉम्बोज जो हैं हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं अटैक साइड पे। और हम लोग हमारे कॉम्बोज भी बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं और हम लोग साइड हिट बहुत अच्छे से कर रहे हैं आजकल। तो आई थिंक ये वजह है
जी
कि हम लोगों ने उनको इस तरह रोल ओवर कर लिया अटैक में अपनी।
वेरी इंप्रेसिव, वेरी वेरी इंप्रेसिव। आई थिंक आगे आने वाले मुकाबले और ज्यादा इंटेंस होने वाले हैं। आपके प्रिपरेशंस कैसे, ये सिंस सेकंड आईजीएल है, सबसे पहले मैं आपसे पूछूंगा एचएसबी, एंड देन डार्की से भी सेम सवाल रहेगा कि आने वाले
We can
मैचेस जो
end.
है इट्स गोइंग टू बी साउथ एशिया प्लेऑफ्स। ये आखिरी सवाल रहेगा आज का, ठीक है? उसके बाद तो अगर आप वहां पर आए हैं, उसके साथ साथ हम बातें भी करेंगे और ज्यादा। आई विल हैव अनदर चैट विद यू गाइस लेटर ऑन। बट अगर आप साउथ एशिया प्लेऑफ्स की बात करेंगे, दिस इज द बिग बॉयज लीग, एंड आप लोग बिग बॉयज नहीं, आप ह्यूज बॉयज बन के आ रहे हैं। यू आर द चैंपियंस ऑफ योर रीजन। आपका मेंटालिटी क्या है, एंड अगर आपका कोई मैसेज है आगे आने वाले जो भी आपके सामने टीम फेस ऑफ करेंगे उनके लिए?
तो अब इसका जवाब मैं कुछ ये देना चाहूँगा कि आई थिंक हम लोगों का मेन गोल जो है वो कुछ महीनों से पाकिस्तान से हटके आ चुका है अब, कि हम लोग वीएलटी और ग्लोबल को हराएं। और आई थिंक ये काफ़ी लोगों को ये बात पता है कि हम लोग उनके खिलाफ काफ़ी हेड टू हेड जाते हैं। हम उनकी रिस्पेक्ट बहुत करते हैं इन गेम। हमें वो एक अच्छी टीम लगती है, हम उनके लिए मेहनत करते हैं। तो रिसेंटली अभी जो हमारा ये रोस्टर है, हमारा जो ये कॉम्बो है, ये काफ़ी अचानक से हमने नोटिस किया है कि मतलब हम खुद भी बहुत ज़्यादा अचानक डोमिनेंट हुए हैं। और टू बी ऑनेस्ट हम लोग प्रैक्टिस बहुत करते हैं, मगर इन टूर्नामेंट्स के लिए हम लोग को प्रैक्टिस करने का मौका इसलिए ज़्यादा नहीं मिला क्योंकि बैक टू बैक टूर्नामेंट्स थे, स्काई स्पोर्ट्स से और टूर्नामेंट थे पाकिस्तानी। तो स्केजुअल थोड़ा सा हमारा इतना टाइट चल रहा था कि हमें एक टूर्नामेंट के बाद दूसरे टूर्नामेंट के मैच की बात करनी होती थी, स्क्रिम्स हम कर नहीं पा रहे थे। तो फिलहाल अभी थोड़ा सा गैप आया है और हम वो गैप पूरी तरह इसलिए यूटिलाइज़ करेंगे कि हम एक टीसी गॉन्टलेट टूर्नामेंट है, एक स्काई स्पोर्ट्स के प्लेऑफ्स हैं। अब हम लोग टॉप 3 तो साउथ एशिया में ईजिली मैं खुद को कंसिडर करता हूँ। आई थिंक टॉप 3 इन साउथ एशिया, नो क्वेश्चंस। और बस अब यही बात है कि आई थिंक वी हैव टू एम फॉर द नंबर 1। हमें उसके लिए प्रिपेयर करना है खुद को। और प्लेऑफ्स में हमारा मेन गोल यही है कि हम वीएलटी और ग्लोबल को हराएं और साउथ एशियन चैंपियंस बने। एंड आई थिंक इट्स गोना बी इंटरेस्टिंग क्योंकि हम बहुत ट्राई हार्ड करने वाले हैं और वो तो ट्राई हार्ड करते ही हैं। तो लेट्स सी। और हमारी मेंटालिटी काफ़ी स्ट्रांग है गोइंग इनटू द टूर्नामेंट, क्योंकि हमने इतना कुछ खतरनाक तरीके से रोल ओवर किया अपनी लोकल टीम्स में कि 13-0 की कहानियाँ भी आई हैं थोड़ी। तो आई थिंक
एब्सोल्युटली।
काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग है हम लोग, काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंट है अपनी टीम में। और माहौल टीम का स्पेशली बहुत अच्छा है क्योंकि अगर हम गेम हारते भी हैं तो हम काम रहता है, हम क्लोज भी जा रहे होते हैं हम काम रहते हैं। तो इतना एक्सपीरियंस हमने वैलोरेंट में भी गेन कर लिया कि आई थिंक हम लोग की मेंटालिटी बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है अभी मूविंग फॉरवर्ड।
वेल, टार्की से पूछने से पहले एक सवाल जो आई थिंक अधूरा छूट गया, कि एनी मैसेज टू द टीम्स, लाइक आपके सामने और 7 टीम्स आएंगे, उनके लिए कोई मैसेज आप देना चाहते हैं तो?
जी
आई थिंक मैसेज काफ़ी क्लियर था वीसीसी में हमारी परफॉर्मेंस का। तो वो परफॉर्मेंस
All right, all right. That's nice. That's nice. Okay.
सी आई बिलीव कि हम लोगों ने हारे तो हम लोग मगर द गेम्स वर वेरी क्लोज इवन दो लूज इज अ लूज मैं इस बात पे नहीं बोलूँगा कि यार हम हार गए या कुछ लेकिन आई थिंक हम जीत सकते थे और हमें जीतना चाहिए था तो मूविंग फॉरवर्ड आई थिंक कोई मैसेज तो ऐसे मैं देना नहीं चाहूँगा क्योंकि मैसेज तो पहले से क्लियर है आई थिंक वो टीम्स भी हमारी रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं और वो टीम्स भी हमें हल्का नहीं लेते तो आई थिंक मैसेज देने की ज़रूरत नहीं है मैसेज क्लियर है काफ़ी
वेल हम आप लोगों से फिर से बात करेंगे लाइक आई विल अगेन लाइक यू नो हैव अ चैट विद यू गाइस फिर से बट थैंक यू सो मच डार्की से उतनी बात नहीं हो पाई डार्की से फिर बात करेंगे आपके सारे टीममेट्स के साथ विल जस्ट हैव अनदर चैट अनदर राउंड ऑफ यू नो अ लिटिल बिट चैट देयर बट अभी के लिए आई थिंक आप लोगों को मैं चिल करने दूंगा आई लाइक यू नो लेट यू गाइस गो enjoy being the champions of Pakistan and Afghanistan region and definitely all the very best for the upcoming matches. Thank you so much for joining us here for the interview. Well, Mythica and
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So that was all that we had for today in Skyesports Championship 3.0. We've had a great best of 5 that unfortunately, like yesterday, did end in just 3 maps. But Team Exploit got the better of Team Salt, was able to walk away with the win with 3 maps to nothing. And well, we saw the interviews from Team Salt as well as from Exploit. And well, Edge, I think it has been a great day.
It did. I mean, what a way. I mean, first map, Ascent 13-6. It was 6-6 the first half, and then Exploit completely shifted gears, and then, you know, it's completely dominant. And then we moved on to the Icebox, the map pick of Exploit, and they were dominant, and rightfully so. 13-2, Salt did not know what hit them. And then moving on to the split, the map was split, the map pick of Salt Esports. It did look like it was going to go down to the wire, but once again, as soon as Salt hit that 7th round on the board, Team Exploit shifted things up once again, shifting gears, ended it 13-7. Completely dominant gameplay. I mean, not just teamwork, but also individual gameplay. So yeah, it was a great day, a great display of skill from both the teams. Team Exploit are your Pakistan and Afghanistan regional champions.
All right. Well, we are going to be having the brackets that are going to be coming up, you know, any second now, so that we can take a look at what is there in store for us. But I think that, well, there you go. Right as we speak about them, well, the brackets are up, so we can take a look at these and kind of understand as to what is going to be happening in the wildcard playoffs.
There you go. The wildcard playoffs, I believe, are going to be starting from tomorrow. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow to check it out. It's going to be Team EXO facing off Fear Legends. One of them will be moving on to the winner bracket final. And the second match, actually, NAVIF Masters, the one from Sri Lanka, versus VPG Headhunters, the one, I think this is from the Bangladesh region, Bangladesh and Maldives, right? So one of these will be facing off Team X, the winner of Team EXO and Fear Legends in the upper bracket final. And the losers are not out yet. It's a double elimination. They'll be moving on to the loser bracket. And then the winners of that will move on to the loser bracket final. And from there on forward, the grand finals of the wildcard. And there, you know, the winners of that grand final will confirm a slot in the South Asian playoffs. So one of these 4 teams are going to be moving forward to, you know, facing off the 7 teams that have already qualified. And they might have a chance of winning the entire thing and walking away with $15,000.
Well, that is true, and well, so far so good. But for the side of for the teams that are there in the wildcard, they're only going to be getting a single chance to do this. But it just kind of felt as if we are going to be having a bigger, as you can say, it is already a big stake at hand for these teams. But again, it just goes to show that sometimes these teams will have to have their backs against the wall. But again, it is going to be a great day coming through for the wildcard playoffs. There's only going to be one single chance for these teams. Yes, they do have the lower bracket, but that is still considered a single chance to go in and win it all. So if they can do that, very good and very well set. But if they can't, well, that is just going to be an unfortunate end to the story for them in Skyesports Championship 3.0.
Well, that's it. That's the bottom line there, Dang. And I mean, it was already a really good day, right? I mean, yesterday we had another regional finals. Today we had another regional finals. We're done with all the regional finals, right? I mean, we did get all the winners. We did get all the teams that are qualified onto the South Asian playoffs, except the wildcard qualifiers, which will I think start from tomorrow. So that's another day, another story. That's something to talk about tomorrow. But for today, as of now, 7 teams have qualified, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to find out which teams. Especially the one match I'm really excited about is VLT versus Team Exploit. If we get to see that, I mean, it's going to be really incredible. We did see them go face to face in the VCC, as HSP was talking about. You know, they almost they did lose it, but they were so close that they should have won it, right? They were talking about that, but this is a new lineup and they feel really dominant and confident with this particular lineup. So them going head to head against VLT. Let's see how this team paces against them, because VLT, they do have a couple of players joining in, right? They do have Death Maker joining the team this time, and now we have Darky from the side of for the side of Team Exploit. So it's gonna be small changes from both the sides, but let's see which change was more significant and which team is more dominant.
Well, yes, that is true. I think that it is going to be a really, really, as you can say, interesting aspect of the game when we see these teams from different countries start playing up. Because again, a team from Sri Lanka might not be able to beat a team from, say, Pakistan, but what if they're able to beat a team from India? That could be really interesting, and that could be a really exciting prospect as well. But with that, we're reaching the end of the stream. So that's going to be me, Dr. Dang, along with Edge, signing off, and we will see you all in the wildcard qualifiers. Take care.
Link to how the car behaves. So I'm studying that in the background on computers all the time. I'm super grateful that we have AMD with us. It's a huge asset for us. When we come back into the garage, the car downloads and the data pops up on my screen. The faster we can get that, the faster I can analyze it and the faster I can get back out there. From a driver's point of view, to get ahead, you need to understand the data. I have over 20 buttons on my steering wheel that have a direct link to how the car behaves. So I'm studying that in the background on computers all the time. I'm super grateful that we have AMD with us. It's a huge asset for us. When we come back into the garage, car downloads and the data pops up on my screen. The faster we can get that, the faster I can analyze it and the faster I can get back out there.
girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their